We're live in 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the createyou podcast. It has been a hell of a long time. For all those who are new here, the podcast is available on pretty much any audio platform. We got Apple Podcasts, we got Spotify and Google, are just a few. So if you guys want to listen somewhere else other than YouTube, you can do that. We have a couple guests here with us that we'll be introducing here in a moment. And those who are listening on audio platforms, it is on it is on YouTube, and you can watch us, in the video format. And then also, I do have a main channel. I'm just plugging everything right now, which is at createyou, which is always in the description. You can check out my more, like creative kind of content, where I put like vlogs and other shit like that. So, but yeah, everything's in the description. So yeah, just if you want to check it out, feel free, and I would appreciate it. But without further ado, we got my boy, Lil Joey. I've known him for a fat minute, since he was probably like,
5.
Yeah, like real young, like just an old family friend. And is it family friend? Is that what you would say?
Yeah.
Friend, family? I don't know. Yeah, but known him for a fat minute, so like I watched this little dude grow up. So it's kind of weird that he's
19 now. Yeah,
19 years old, literally like not a kid no more. But yeah, he's been, he hit me up to, I guess, hop on the pod, but he was also watching and said some really kind things and some shit I appreciated. And I was like, why don't we just get you on the pod? Like, it'd be real cool. So here we are. We're doing the pod, and he's pretty excited to hop on. So I got some stuff prepared for him. But yeah, bro, how you been doing? How you living?
Doing pretty good, man. I got back to Lubbock in May, or late May. Got my house, so it was pretty fun. Been moving in. I'm not even fully moved in yet, so
yeah,
still got to do all that.
When y'all move in?
We were supposed to move in May 13th, but had a whole lot of bullshit with the landlord and like the leasing stuff. So paperwork was done, money was already given, so we just had to wait a couple extra days just to move in.
So how long you been there now? Couple weeks?
Since like the 21st, and then I left town like
May.
I've been leaving town,
so almost like a month. But you said
a little bit. I've been leaving out of town a lot, so
yeah.
I've been gone. I was in New Orleans and Florida for 12 days, and then I went to San Antonio for like 4.
Yeah.
So I probably slept like a total of maybe a whole week. Like maybe 7 days was last night.
Yep. I know exactly what you're saying, dog. Also, I mean, we got, we always got Lola here, and we got a new little friend here. I don't know if y'all can see her. This is Mew. It's my new cat. She'll be here on the pod, I guess, with us, and Lola's punk ass is always here, so you get to see her, and she's always one of the guests that we have. But yeah, so you're going to school and shit right now. How you feeling about all that? What are you thinking?
School is a grind for real, but it started off real hard. Like first semester, I was just being a little kid. I still am a little kid. I have kid tendencies, of course. Like
I think everybody does, bro.
Yeah.
Like even though I'm 23, like it's so weird because you might get compliments and shit from friends and family, like, oh, you're doing so well and you're doing this, but like when it's just you be feeling like,
I'll be watching SpongeBob.
Like,
yeah, I still
feel
feel
like yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Like there's still a lot of kid shit that I do too. Like, so I know exactly what you're saying. But yeah,
it's stuff like that. Like I just need to just be more accountable. And I turned it around the second semester, so it really came together. I started working 3 jobs. I passed all my classes. I really had to turn it around.
What do you think? Was there something that happened that kind of changed that made you want to be more accountable?
Well, me and my pops, I got into it a bit. So we got into it. We got into a little argument. We're both very prideful. I get that from him for sure. We're very prideful. All of us are.
Yeah.
So like it was just we had one of those conversations, and then I left town after Christmas break. I didn't talk to him till I came back late May, and then so I just was like I was just kind of like just had a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah, I know kind of. I feel like I know exactly what you're saying. My when I was living in New Jersey with my uncle, it's so weird because like I didn't really know him a lot growing up, but like I did because he was like sort of around. But when I like lived with him, so it was like a really weird like it's kind of weird like what would you say? It's really weird like a situation to be in because I was living with like another grown man, and so I've never lived with anybody besides like my family, which was like you know how that is, like it's just kind of normal, but like living with somebody else,
you don't know any different.
I was living under his rules. I didn't pay no rent there. Like I was just like, he just made sure, or he asked me to like do certain things to keep the house clean and shit like that to take care of myself and my, I guess like my room or whatever. but a lot of things that happened were like we like got into a lot of arguments with each other, and then yeah, eventually like at this point like I don't really talk to him anymore just because of our differences and shit, and he's just not someone that I really want to keep around. So I kind of know what you mean when you're you know when you kind of haven't talked to someone in a while because of y'all's differences, which is kind of weird. You know, especially with that being your pops as well.
Yeah, so we had got into it. I left the crib. I didn't go back for a long time. But at first, it was kind of weird because the way I was moving out of spite. And me and Jimmy had a conversation about it. I wasn't like moving to like I wasn't
in
doing
terms with your dad or just
no
in
like
school or just
like
in general.
the way I was as much as I was working hard and holding myself accountable. Like I was doing all that because I was like doing it out of spite. Like I was trying to prove somebody wrong instead of doing it like to better myself. Like I was doing it like to prove somebody wrong, which is I mean that's a good way to do certain things. But you know I feel like for me I should have done it for myself.
Yeah, I think.
But I mean I did it, you know, and
I still
came
did,
through and I
think
succeeded.
it's like.
But I had to really differentiate the spite from the growth because it was just like I was just so I had a big chip on my shoulder just from our conversation, so I just had to like
from you and your pops' conversation.
Yeah. So I went out, got some jobs. I started working 3 jobs, and then I was doing school full time.
Yeah,
but it was good because I had met a professor there. He gave me a job in the office. So my morning job, I'd work from 6 to like 3. But in between that time, I'd go to classes. So and then I come back, get to do homework, and then I go work at the pizza spot from like 4:40 to 10, and then work at the bar from like 11 to 3-4.
Damn.
So I was sleeping like 3 hours a night.
Yeah, that's a grind, bro. For sure.
But honestly, it really changed the way I like move, like everything, like the way I would keep myself clean. I make sure everything's good. I hold myself accountable to everything. I'll be waking up early. Like just it's the little stuff that makes a big difference.
Do you think that I remember you telling me earlier that you said your grades were kind of lacking. Do you think that maybe that lack of sleep was something that could have been, you know, influencing your schoolwork and how you're performing there?
Nah, honestly, because the first semester I was getting more sleep than I even needed. Really? I was just being like a little shithead. Like I just wasn't going to class. I wasn't holding myself accountable. I'd only go to my major class, which is computer science. I really enjoyed it, like because it pushed me to be a better student. Like I really had to learn and read, but I just like I couldn't wake up and go to class. I just didn't want to.
Yep.
And that computer science class would be at 3:00 every day.
Damn.
So it was perfect. Like
late,
I just sleep in. But once the second semester came around, that lack of sleep is honestly what made me a better student.
Really?
Because I was really just like, I was just like prepared. I was like, yeah, I gotta go to sleep now so I can wake up in a couple hours. Like I'm ready. Like I gotta get ready.
That's crazy.
So it was just like moving. It was just kind of being on autopilot for a little bit. And like being on autopilot for a little bit, kind of, I had a couple like one of them like moments where I had to like really relax and like understand that like I just had to chill. And it came through like bad experiences. So like just having like.
What do you mean? You said you had to chill?
So like at one point I had like an anxiety attack.
Yeah.
So I like collapsed and like my legs like were seizing. Yeah, I got pretty bad. I like had to learn to walk for like a week. So I couldn't walk for a little bit. And I remember like getting into bed was like a challenge. Like I never had to work to get into bed. And you know, I love playing sports. I've always been an athlete. Yeah. So like to lose my legs for a little bit, it felt like it really humbled me as a person. But like I got over that easily. You know, I did what I had to do, and then I just had to turn it around. I was like, I can't allow myself to be encapsulated by the hate, even though it was just one of those things. Like,
why do you think you had all the anxiety going on?
I was just pushing myself too much. Like I was just putting, like I said earlier, I was like, if there's no pressure, then there's no passion. Like I had so much passion. Like I was obsessed. Honestly, I don't even think it was passion. I was just an obsession, like an addiction. Like
with what?
Just being like.
Just taking care of all that shit that you're doing?
Yeah, like just making sure I wake up on time, just going to class, doing my homework. Like I was just doing it all, and I didn't think it honestly kind of messed up relationships with like friends and like family, of course, definitely. And then like with girls, like because I just didn't feel like talking to nobody. I was just like I just had my head down and I was just doing my thing. But it's kind of, it made me better though.
Yeah. That's something that I've been struggling with a bit recently is like sleep and like time management. But I kind of understand what you mean, like when you're saying like you just had your head down and shit. That's what I felt like when I was at Amazon, bro, and I was so fucking miserable. Like,
bro, it's like terrible. Like you just feel like a loss of character almost. Exactly. Like you're just moving like you're NPC.
You're just moving. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's how I felt a lot of those days. Like I would just like I did it for a reason to get all the shit that I have now for YouTube and stuff, and that was probably the most money that I ever made. And like I say that like not even in a way to like brag, but like at what. It like costed so much, bro. Even though I was making a lot of money, I hated my I pretty much hated my life, actually.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I hated my life. I didn't have any friends that I was talking to on a daily. I wasn't talking to no girls. Like, I was just like every day at work. I had like body problems. Like, my back was hurting all the time. Literally, my back still hurts to this day, like from fucking Amazon. And like, shit was terrible. They didn't care about you. I had like zero like social connection, bro. Like, it was just fucking terrible. And like, people were always like, you gotta sacrifice and shit. But like, as I've gotten older, bro, I switched jobs around and shit. I feel like I want more of like a balance, and that's kind of like what I'm like willing to do now. Like, I'm not willing to be like just to destroy myself for something else. At least not right now. Like, that's just kind of how I'm feeling. Like, I've been trying to learn how to, like, I still sacrifice a lot of shit in my life, but I'm trying to like learn how to, I guess, like manage everything better. Like with work, now I work full time. Then when I like to also work out, you know, like 4 or 5 times a week. So that's like another hour. And then I'm also trying to like take care of myself, whether it's like meditating or like taking cold showers and shit. So like, it takes a lot of my time, especially with working full time. And then if I come home, I need to record a video or edit or some shit that's even more hours. So like, I don't have a lot more time. And then I want to go to bed early. So like, I want to get my sleep because I've been feeling like very fucking tired, like every day, bro. Like, so it's kind of weird, but
they be saying it'd be worth it though.
That's what they say, bro. I'm it's worth it though. But this shit is ass some days because I keep feeling like this like every week, and I'm like, bro, I keep hitting this wall. So I don't know where that wall is, if I need to step back or like what, because a lot of times I always have like this voice in my head that comes from my, I don't know, like maybe like family, or like if you're listening to like David Goggins or some shit.
Yeah, I be hearing him.
He's always like, don't be like a bitch and shit. And I'm like, damn, am I just being a bitch, or like am I like actually tired and do I need to fucking get some rest? And a lot of times I'm just like, nah, bro, fuck the rest. You gotta just keep going. And then like the next day I'm like suffering because of it. And
I'd be like jokingly saying like, who's gonna carry the boats?
No, for
who's
real.
Gonna carry the load? I'd be saying that shit jokingly, but I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I really be like having to like really push myself because I want to lay down. Like, I just want to sit, relax. Like, that shit's, it's easy like to be a bum. Thing. It's so easy to be a bum.
I think it's, easy to be a bum, but for me, I think it's easy to be a bum, but I think it's hard when you're grinding. I think it's hard to, like, learn how to rest. I don't know what that means, bro.
Like,
honestly.
to relax? Like, I'm ready to go do any, like, I'm ready to work at any time. Like, I'm ready for them to call me and be like, hey, you trying to come in? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready.
It's so weird that, like, I learned how to do that, but I didn't learn how to rest. I don't know what that really means. Like, should I take a whole day? Should I do things that like rejuvenate me? Like, what does that mean? Like, is playing games like resting? Is it like, do I need to like actually lay down?
Like sleep and stuff?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the fuck that means. And I'm still like trying to figure that out right now. But
I think that too sometimes. And like, I think about, do I need to take like a day? But then sometimes I worry, like, if I take a day, am I just going to get out of like, you know, am I going to get out of my trance? Am I going to be able to like keep going as hard as I was before?
I know exactly what
so it's
you
like,
mean,
will
bro.
that day kind of put me out the game? Like, sometimes I worry about that. Like, I can't take a day.
Yep.
Like, maybe I could take a couple hours. That's like kind of what I do now. Like, I just hang out with Shorty and like we'll lay down, we'll watch TV. Like, that's kind of like how I relax now. I'll just come home, lay down. Because before I would just read a lot. I just read and read. That's why I had all them over. Like, my professor would be like, "How you doing in class?" So like, I'm doing all right. You reading your books? Nah, I'm reading one, the C++. And then he's like, what's up with Miss Sonia telling me you got, that was like the office clerk. And she's like, what's up with Miss Sonia telling me you got $300 in overdue book fees?
Golly.
I was like, because I like to read my books and I don't want to turn them in unless I finish them.
Dog.
And he was like, man, you're dumb. I was like, I know. Yeah. But I was like reading all these books. Getting all this money on my tuition that I shouldn't have, I should have just rechecked them.
Yeah.
But I was just being a little kid being dumb.
Yeah, I feel you. But yeah, I was gonna say like, I feel like kind of what you're saying too, like with the, if you take a day, like if you're gonna get out of that trance, or like, I just feel like for some reason resting is like bad. Like, even though I know like logically, like you need rest, but like the way I feel is like, nah, bro, if I rest today, I'll fuck everything up. Like, I'm not gonna meet the goals that I want to do. Like,
and I can't allow myself to take this day off. Like, I just can't.
And what's stupid is that I already know what the consequences of not resting are. I literally got sick because I was like, I wasn't getting any rest. Like, I was just on go like every day. And I don't know if you've ever felt like your body will like tell you like, hey bro, you should probably like rest for real. I just like, nah, bro. I kept going.
You keep doing shit. Yeah.
And then next thing you know, I got sick. And then even while I was sick, I was like, nah, bro, I still got to keep going.
I can't miss work.
But I dragged it on. So like, I know the consequences consequences of not resting.
Your body will give you that day off if you don't take it. Like
Exactly.
it would do it. Your body will just give you that day off.
And that's what I hate that, because then I'll be like, when I'm
It's
feeling
the
like that, I'm like,
worst.
damn, bro, I'm like, I gotta rest, but I really don't want to rest. But then I end up just doing that anyways, and I feel bad about resting, which it just makes it all worse. It's like I know I need to rest, but then I feel bad about resting because I got to this point, and then I feel bad about it because I'm like, I don't want to be resting. You know what I'm saying? So
like
then,
I could be
and
doing
then I didn't
more.
even rest. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm just stuck in the
Sitting
same
there
thing.
dwelling on what
Exactly.
could be and what couldn't. Like
Instead of just accepting it for what it is and then just letting it be. That's real hard.
My biggest thing is like I have to stop worrying about the things I can't control. That's like
I'm
so hard.
right. That's exactly where I'm at
Like it's
right
so
now.
hard to worry about things that you can't control, because damn, like sometimes you feel like you could be in control the whole time
Everything.
you aren't, and then whenever you realize it, it just like, damn,
Just all
I spent
comes
so
down on
much
you.
time. I spent all this, but
There's
I don't know.
There's a Wayne lyric that I heard recently. That shit was hidden because I've been feeling like exactly what you're saying for like the past couple weeks, and just like with all the shit that like I can't control. He said, Wayne said something like, "I let God control what I cannot control," or some shit. And I was like, he's like, I just let the tears something wallow up and let them drop and roll or something like that. And I was like, yeah, Wayne be spitting, bro. And I'm not really like, I'm
Wayne
like
do be
I'm
spitting.
sort of religious, but like not like too deep into it. But he said that, I was like, damn, maybe I should just give
That
it,
religion,
just give it up. You know what I'm saying? That control, because that will help. If I
yeah.
just gave it to God, if that, you know, like go all that control.
Letting that pressure get off of you and allowing it to like move somewhere else. It's hard though to even like being able to differentiate what you can and can't control.
Yeah.
Like to be able to sit down and pinpoint what is going on and like where am I at in life or stuff like that. It's hard sometimes to like sit there and think, and if you do overthink, like it could be
you're
harsh.
doing the same
Yeah,
thing.
it could be worse than doing anything. Like it'll be worse for you to overthink than it is to just
This
relax.
one guy that I watch on YouTube, his name is Dr. K. He always goes over like mental health shit. He's a real cool dude. Like he uses a lot of analogies from like gaming and shit. But there was this one thing he was telling somebody one time. You know who the streamer Ludwig is?
Yeah.
He was streaming with Ludwig, and they were doing like a conversation, like kind of like a podcast. And he was like, yeah, one time I told my kids like, I gotta show you something, but you'll have to make the water stop moving. And the kids were like trying to like push it down and like stop the water from moving. But like you and I would both know like you can't stop the fucking water. The only way to do that is you just chill. And so it was cool because they like learned a lesson, like you can't control the waves. You just gotta kind of like be with the waves, and you gotta like just let it be, let it flow. And then
Sometimes you almost just gotta let it dry out. Just gotta let it dry out.
And that's so weird because it's like days where I'm like, damn, dude, I want to be present today. But in doing that, it's like weird because I'm not really being present. I'm like making the problem worse because I'm like, I'm putting that pressure and that expectation and like, yo, I gotta be present. And then it just makes shit worse instead of just like accepting it and then being with it. And then hopefully you can get to the point where you're present. If not, then be present with the fact that you can't be present. How about that?
It's just one of those things that like you have to figure out on your own. I feel like that's for every single person. There's like not a broad answer for you. Like everybody has a like figure it out your own way. And sometimes people just got it. I feel like sometimes people just don't care. Like
I wish I could be one of those people who could just do
so
shit
much
without thinking. I've just never been like that, bro. I've been trying to do that, but that shit hard.
I be taking that think before you speak to the heart sometimes. Like I really be thinking before I walk, talk, anything.
You be overthinking that shit big time.
Too much.
So I remember like growing up that like basketball was a big part of your life, and even like mine and stuff. And let's see, maybe like you can tell us a little bit about that because I know that you've been hooping. Hooping was like your main sport, right?
Yeah,
like,
that was my.
You've been doing that since what?
Like 7. Well, I've been playing since I was really young, but I took it serious and like I let it kind of run me my 8th grade year. That's when like that 7th grade summer going into 8th grade year is when I kind of let basketball take over my life. And then I really just had to become a better athlete. And at first it came kind of natural because in 8th grade I was faster. I wasn't taller, but I could jump high. Yeah. And I had like a natural handle to me. It wasn't like nothing that was good.
Just like natural,
like I could naturally
athletic.
have it, and like I could get to the rack. I was just a natural talent, and then as time went on, I started meeting better players, and then I was like, oh shit, like
that shit sucks.
I was always good at defense, though. That's the thing. Like I can always say I've always been a great defender, but like as an offensive player, I really had to like work on that. And the biggest thing about basketball is like I'm only 5'8", so I'm already at the biggest disadvantage. Yep. So I had to learn like how to play Like I had to learn how to play amongst the bamboo trees. Like I had to walk and talk around them.
Yeah.
I had to like put muscle on. I had to be able to jump and move my body in the air to create certain separations or to create contact. But like in doing that and becoming because I'm better than average. Like I can say that because it's not cocky, but like I know like I'm better than average. I can really move. And even when I was younger, when I was first getting into it, like I was real cocky because I was moving better than the rest of the people my age.
Yeah.
And I was like I just knew. But as I got older, I started playing better and better competition. Like my senior year, we played against a McDonald's All-American. Bro was nice.
For real?
Yeah, bro was nice. We played against a couple.
Yeah, I remember we played. You remember when those Trinity kids won state?
Yeah, Jordan Brandon and them.
Yeah, and then Jeremy McFerrin came over to coach. I had played those kids like the year prior in like a league or something, bro. That kid was cold, bro. He was cooking my ass because I had to guard him. Bro was cooking me the whole time, bro. Cold. I couldn't even like.
His brother's my roommate, Jordan Brandon. He played at the Trinity on that squad. He was like
that dude was cold.
He was moving.
Like, dog, bro.
He ended up playing at a Sagu and then went to Wayland.
Did he?
Yeah, he had a big part in that team, in that Wayland team for sure. They were real
those
good.
Those dudes are good on that Trinity team, bro, for real.
They played like real fundamental. Like they played really to the book.
And they were like, they're actually like a team.
Like they
like
moved.
A team.
The ball would move. It was like the Spurs. Like it was like Coach Popovich had them.
But they were all cold still. Like even without a team, bro, they were still cold.
Even their worst player like was good because of their structure.
Their team, the way they had their team set up, it was just like
they were cold.
They played so well together. Is there anything that in particular that made you love basketball?
I'm short.
That you're short? That's why you love it?
Because it's like my best friend Bison, he's 6'6". He plays college basketball right now. And I remember when my freshman year and ever since then, we were like, honestly, like I gave my life to basketball. So like I spent countless hours doing something that like was almost damn near impossible. Because I was like, I didn't have the God-given intangibles. I could work on the skill all day, but no matter what, I'll never be 6 foot. And for me to play college ball, I'd have to be ready to go as a senior in high school. Like I'd have to be.
That's true.
I have to be like 160. Could dunk. I could only dunk off a oop. Like I could never catch that bitch. I had to like run and jump and catch that hoe.
Yeah.
Like I'd have to be ready to go. And
so that's what made you love it.
Yeah, because I knew I couldn't do it. Like I knew not that I couldn't do it, but like I had to really work for it. And then all my best friends were all over 6 foot. Like I'm still the only one that's like, well, I've stopped growing, but like they're all 6'6", 6'4", 6'5". Like and then I'm 5'8". Like, so growing up with them, I just got to compete really hard. I got to be able to.
It was like the challenge of doing something that you weren't supposed to be able to be like good at.
So I got like damn good at being able to play against tall players, and I almost like I can't play against people my size. Like I have like if you're my height, it's hard for me to go past you.
Yeah.
Like and if you're my size, I can't guard you. I can only guard taller players. Like it's so weird because I've only been in the gym with Bison since I was like a certain age, so I've only been able to like he's 6'6", so I've always been guarding him.
He's tall as hell.
And after a while, you have to be able to guard him, and so I know all his moves. Like he's better than me, but I know all his moves, so it's like the game becomes mine because you got to eat it up. Like I don't know.
Did it teach you anything outside? Like like did it teach you any life skills outside of just basketball? Was it more than just that?
Yeah, no, for sure. It was for me it was a big I spent like years playing basketball. Mm-hmm. So like all I knew was like basketball.
Right.
So my junior year I had failed and they didn't kick me off the team. So everybody was already mad at me for that. They were mad that I got to stay in the program, but I failed. Everybody else got kicked out. Like I had homies that were mad at me.
Beginning of the year?
Yeah, at the beginning of the year. Okay. Everybody else was already cut. So we had the squad. I had failed.
Oh, yeah, because I forgot. Yeah. Like the trials and shit?
Yeah, so we already had the squad and I had failed. And they're like, bro, you're still in there? I was like, yeah, he didn't want to move me to PE. He's like, damn. Like some of my own friends were kind of like looking at me a certain way, but it was like, they kept me around because I guess they liked me or like they liked the way I played, but I ended up not even getting to come back my junior year. Like I was just shit in the bucket. I was just playing shitty. I wasn't playing shitty.
Grades?
Bad grades, bad attendance, smoking a lot of weed.
Yeah.
But they still kept me around. And then my senior year I came back. He let me play. I was on the squad. I was glad I got to play my senior year, but I didn't really get to play like that. Like he didn't trust me at all. Like, and I wouldn't either. It was Coach Davis at that time. So Coach Davis has a head coach job.
Oh, okay. When did McFerrin leave?
After my junior year. So going into my senior year,
Coach Davis. For like what, 2-3 years?
I think like 3.
Yeah.
Or maybe 4. The year before I came, he was because he was a coach your senior year, right?
He was
yeah. So it was 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
But I don't know. Coach Davis, like he liked me. He was like, yeah, man, it's just I can't trust you. Like he just told me straight up. He's like, I can't trust you. And I was like, I mean, I wouldn't trust myself either. I failed the whole year. I mean, y'all kept me around and I still couldn't pass. Like I wouldn't trust me either. But I came back and I passed all my classes. I was so mad though, because junior year I was probably like the best I've ever been as an athlete.
Really?
Like I weighed the most, and it was muscle. Like I weighed the most I weighed. I could jump the highest, I run the fastest I could.
Damn.
Like I was the best I was as an athlete and as a basketball player. And then I failed, and then I was like, damn.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just smoke this weed.
I kind of was like similar. I remember when I played freshman ball, and then after that, my sister, we were at Monterey still, and then she was like trying to fight in something, and like we just had, the school was like overpopulated, so they were trying to get rid of kids for like anything. So they ended up kicking us out, and so I had to go to Coronado.
I remember.
And when I went, I couldn't even play because trials and shit was already done.
Yeah, and they'd be having a team set.
And
like,
they were good. This is when they had Jarrett. So like that's who I was like, you know, I had to play with dudes like that, and I was just like
if they
the
got
first year I
Jarrett
didn't
on
even
the
get the
senior,
trial. I didn't even get the trial, so like I was just done for my junior year.
If they got like Jarrett on the varsity squad, imagine the JV squad.
Yeah, they were good. They were a good team, but so yeah, junior year or sophomore year, I didn't even get to like do nothing. So I was just like every day I was hooping. I was going to like AB Davis Park, like over there on 34th, bro. I was hooping every single day, all day, every day. That's the only thing I did. And I remember I was like, I kept rolling my ankles and shit. Like I rolled my ankle.
You always had
like,
bad ankles. Yeah, I remember I gave you some ankle braces.
Yeah, nah, because they were terrible. But I remember I rolled it, and I was on like that real Kobe shit. I was like, nah, fuck that, bro. I got to keep playing.
Shooting
so
free throws.
I would just play through. And I had a huge, like, my shit was like all knotted up. It was like fat, bro. And I was like, nah, I got to keep playing.
I remember you and Jimmy always used to have like hella pictures of y'all's ankles just fat.
Yeah, no, we did. Yeah,
y'all both had shitty ankles. I don't know what it was.
But then the next year I went to trial for the team, and I think around the same time I had rolled my shit, so I went to trials and I was all fucked up, bro. I was like trying to run through fucked up ankles and shit, and I was like, yeah, dog. So I didn't make the team again. Whatever.
That basketball shit, man.
And then I moved back to Monterey, and then when I moved back, I think my junior year I was like hooping a lot still, and then I kind of let it go a little bit as I got to my senior year, and then I was like playing and shit, and then we were going through trials, and we did like the last like, it was like the last like what'd you call it? It was like trials, but they had like certain like drills we were doing to see how I did terrible. I was like kind of nervous and shit, and then he was like, he called me over. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, you're not bad. Like you're good, but you're just like, you're already a senior, and like, you're not as you're not as good as everybody else. I was like, yeah, I get.
It's harder to take that jump on a senior.
I got cut, and then I was sad because that's all I ever did, bro, was hoop since I was like 1. That's all I knew. That was like I always call it like my first love, because like that's all I knew, bro. So when I got cut, I was low key devastated. I was like, damn, what am I supposed to do in my life now? I don't know. I just had this assumption that I was gonna go to the NBA for some fucking.
I think every
reason.
kid did, because I for sure did, and I knew I was gonna be short, so I was like, I'm gonna be like one of them. Like I'm gonna be like Spud Webb. Yeah, I'm gonna be like Nate Robinson. I was like, I'm ready.
But no, I don't.
It don't come out. You have
to be fucking cold, bro.
Either you have to have like, you have to have the best skills, and they have to be in your head since you were a little kid, or you have to be the greatest athlete ever. Yeah. Like especially if you're short.
5'8". What is the average? Like 6'1", 6'2"
in the NBA. Average for guards now is getting taller and taller.
6'4".
Yeah, it's getting taller and taller.
I think Curry's like 6'4", yeah.
Yeah, I think he's like 6'3", he's 1 inch under. But like all these younger guards that are coming into the league, 6'5", 6'6". Like my friend Bison, he's a 6'6" guard, point guard. Yeah,
that's crazy.
So he's cold. But like in high school, if you're 6'6", you don't play guard like that. Like that's especially in Texas, because we had a tall squad, but especially in Texas, our center was 6'4".
You can be the center for sure.
That like for Texas, being tall is like weird. Like to play basketball in Texas and be like 6'4", if you're not in Dallas, you're a center. Like it's so weird.
Yeah, I know a lot of kids are like that. That shit's
like 6'4" centers in Texas are so common. 6'5" centers. That's why it's always like there's always like that one guy from like what's his name? Jarrett Culver. He's like 6'6", but he played. Everybody else was shorter on his team, but he didn't move like a center. That's why he was like he went D1. Like there's a guy in Shallow Water. I can't remember his name.
Is he still in the league?
I think he's in the G League. I think he's in the Timberwolves.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's on the Timberwolves squad.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I went to school with Jarrett Culver, who was playing in the NBA for like 2-3 years, maybe. Yeah, something like that. I think he's with the Timberwolves, and I don't know if he got moved around or what, but
I think he's been in the same organization, just up and down.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, he's I mean,
He's a
it's not that
bucket.
he's not good. Even if he's in the G
He's
League,
in the
he's still
league,
good as
yeah.
fuck. But you know, he's not in the NBA anymore. I don't think. But
he got NBA minutes just to even like step on that court. Like he have to be amazing.
I think there was one game he had where he dropped like
he had like
a good amount of
16.
points.
Yeah, he had like
something
16,
that.
18.
Which I mean,
he put
NBA,
on for the
I don't
city
even know
that
if- I don't
day.
even know if I could drop a bucket in the NBA, bro. I might get dropped. the fuck off.
Point scoring is going up though. Like they say now, like 30 is the new 20. Like people
Oh,
are
yeah.
dropping buckets every now. Like everybody can score. It's getting like defense is like I love defense. I love it so much. But like you don't see it at all sometimes.
Yeah, in the
that's why I love
NBA.
college basketball more than the
They
NBA.
be offensive as fuck.
I think I'm like an old head with the way I like basketball because I love college. Like
Really?
I love the way they hoop in college. I can't stand NBA
I came
sometimes.
to that realization for like football. Like when I was in New Jersey, we'd be watching like the NFL and shit. I'm like, this is cool. We watched some what's it called? Some college football, like tech. And I'm like, yo, these hoes are lit, bro. They just be like,
they fighting for something, bro.
yeah,
Some of them
for-
got like
they're just so much more like heart or just something in it, like some more passion because they're just young and they're like,
some of them are like
they're trying
20
to-
with
they're trying
kids.
to go, yeah, they're trying to go to the fucking league and
They
they're trying to
dogging,
win.
yeah.
They're trying to like, yeah, they're really in that bitch. Going
It's a different
hard
type
for sure.
of it's a different type of
And the
passion.
environment, all the kids are going crazy, all the students and shit. Like
the
they just,
stands,
I feel like it's better. I like watching in
the after
college.
parties of these college
Yeah.
students. You know they're finna get some like
Yeah,
they
be going
having
crazy,
fun.
Yep.
Especially go to big school. Like I had a friend who went to Arkansas, and she was like, "Yeah, that shit."
I think it's because they go to the school too. Like in the NFL, like you might be following these teams, but you're not going. To,
Yeah,
like, you're
yeah.
not like representing.
I could
the
sit in
school.
class next to Jared
Yeah.
Culver at Tech. Like
But if
That's
I was
different.
going to school, I'd be lit if my team,
exactly.
which they were when Tech went to the Final Four the first time
Bruh.
ever. Yo, they burned down
Flipping
Broadway
cars.
and shit. Yo,
Flipping
there was
cars.
hella like extensive lists of all the kids who like went to jail that night, and I was like, dog.
They
they're
rattled
really-
them up. They rounded them up for sure.
I was like, bro, we didn't even win.
Yeah, we
ain't
lost.
won
We
yet, bro.
lost in the
went to the next game and
championship.
got dropped off.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. That shit. I still be thinking. I watched that. I watched that
Imagine
game.
though, bro. Oh,
we
man,
would
that
have
was
blew
a
up the
crazy
city,
day.
bro. I don't know why. We would have got so bad.
Because if they did that in the Final Four, I don't know what would have happened if we would have won.
If they, I was ready
If
to
we
like,
would've
I was
won
ready to leave
nationals,
where I
bro.
was to go watch that shit. Like I wanted to go see wherever they were.
I think I was doing DoorDash at the time, bro, and I remember I think it was the last game. I think it was the final two, and I like was dropping some food off, and they were like, I was like, "Hey, bro, y'all watching the game?" He's like, "Yeah, we're watching right now." He's like, "You trying to come in?" I was like, "Fuck, I turned my shit off," and I went in there. We started watching the hood, bro. We lost, and I was sad, bro. I was with these random. I was with these random ass people. We were
They were
watching
all
like the
mad,
last
huh?
like 5-10 minutes. We were all sad, bro. They were all turning up and shit, and then they were all sad. I was like, "Damn, bro."
I was at
That's
Hayashi. It was they closed it already. Like Hayashi was closed, and that was before I worked there. So it was like me and my mom and my uncle, and getting hungry over there, and we like watched the game with the bartenders.
Yeah.
And like, whoa,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like
Yeah,
Hong and
people were pissed,
Hong,
bro.
all the owners and stuff, and Andy, they were like,
I'm
it was
sick,
so
bro.
it was so funny. Like I loved it.
So I know also another thing too that was like a big part of your childhood was like playing games and shit.
Yeah, video games.
When do you think you started playing games?
After they gave me the controller when it was unplugged. Man, I grew up. Man, that shit. I still think about how you were a part of it too. Y'all used to hold me. Don't even act. Y'all used to hold me on the video game. So whenever I got my own,
like here you go, bro, you got in.
whenever I got my own console, I became a demon. I know y'all remember how much I used to play that shit. Like
I mean, we did too, bro. We were playing
yeah,
like
and y'all
crazy.
never let me play with y'all. I was hot.
Hell no.
Yeah, y'all were like gatekeeping the. Y'all weren't even that good either. I just wanted to play with y'all. I remember. I think there was a point where I like played with y'all one time, and like I shitted on y'all, and like it was like 2K, and then AC hopped on, and then
Oh yeah, I
and
didn't.
then y'all started shitting on
I
AC.
never got that good at 2K. That shit was hard to me.
Yeah, and like
I remember I
Jimmy
played
was
with you
shitting
one
on
time,
AC.
bro. I still have the video when I mixed your friend up and then I dunked on the other kid, bro.
It was
I
AC.
was like at a 70 overall, bro. Something real low, and I was like, because I never do them to nobody when we were playing the park and shit. I would always be
Bro.
dropped off. I mixed that dude up and then I went to dunk and I was so.
It was
lit that
2K16.
day,
I
dog.
remember too.
Yeah, them boys
AC. It was
was
AC who you
sad,
boomed
bro.
on because you always had a center, and I was like, and Jimmy. I remember Jimmy and AC were talking shit because AC's a little shit talker, and like I was dropping y'all off, and then AC hops on, and then Jimmy starts giving him stupid like Greg Popovich buckets. Like
Yeah,
Jimmy played 2K like a dickhead, bro. He played like
Yeah,
an
no, he
old
did.
man.
they
He
were
was dropping
grinding
us
that shit
off.
though. I didn't care to grind that bitch. I was like, I just want to mix people up.
I was
That's it.
grinding.
That's all I was there to do.
No, because it was like it had the preset move, so all I got to do is flick it down.
Yep, that shit was easy. That
It
shit
was
was like
fun.
buttery smooth too. But yeah, what kind of games did you play growing up? Like, what were your favorite games that you had?
I was one of them like Call of Duty search and destroy players. Like as soon as me and all the boys got a console.
What game did you start on?
My first game was probably GameCube. Probably the GameCube Cars game.
Oh shit, yo, that game was hard.
It was like
that game was fun, bro.
I remember I went back and like I looked at some videos or like YouTube of it. I'm like, that shit looks so ass.
Yeah.
But like I remember when I played it, it was like I was playing like I was in the movie.
Good. Yep.
And I remember I loved
like
that.
I have The Incredibles. I played that growing up.
I had that one too.
I just bought it recently again. I played. I was like, this is not the way I used to remember.
But it was so fun back in the day. Like that Cars game, I remember I loved driving around Radiator Springs.
You could like customize the car and shit.
Yeah,
I know exactly.
You could like race on the. You could do the racing, bro. I think
that shit sounds fun.
I don't know where that game is, but I still got the GameCube.
I still got my GameCube too.
Yeah.
I be playing that. We playing Mario Party and shit.
I want to get Mario Party for my Switch. I feel like that'd be so hard, but I'm so cheap now. Like ever since I like.
You talking about the new one?
Yeah,
Superstars.
I'm so cheap.
That's a good one.
Like I hate spending money on anything. Like unless I'm with my girl, I don't spend money. I swear.
Frugal as hell, bro.
Bro, I don't
exactly
eat my own, like I'll eat Spam and eggs. Like I love that shit. I'll live and die by Spam.
What COD did you start on though? Because you are a little bit younger, but I started like on World at War and shit.
Yeah, it was probably World at War with y'all. Or the one where y'all had that. What's the first zombies map? That was my first Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's on World at War.
Yeah, that was my very first Call. Because I only played it because of y'all. And then after that, I think I played Modern Warfare 2 a lot. Because I was a sniper kid. I loved like FaZe and all that shit.
Fun.
I was always a FaZe fan. And then I played Modern Warfare 3.
What was it? It was
Optic. Envy, bro, I know all the squads.
KSI, that was another one. You remember that one? I remember people would be getting recruited and shit. I think Nathan was one of those kids. He was like
KSI Nate Dogg.
He had that shit in his things that recruited by so and so. I was like, dog, these are just some people who made that shit up. They didn't even part of KSI.
I used to eat that shit up though. I was a big fan. I remember I used to be on the game sniping, like Modern Warfare 2 to 3. Black Ops 1, I didn't really like the snipers, but like the intervention and the
on Modern Warfare
MSR,
2. Yep.
like they had the 3v3s on.
I remember those used to be.
I was young and I used to get brought to tears. Like, yeah, you remember that? I know you remember that. I used to get brought to tears because of that game.
Crying and shit. I remember that. Yeah, I used to get mad.
Breathing
it'd be like that though. I started on World at War. I remember before we got our Xbox, we had a Wii. Like we got it for Christmas or some shit, and then we were playing it. And then Mark, my stepdad at the time, he was like, "Man, like this shit is lame." So we just bought an Xbox. Got World at War, bro. I was playing it. Played zombies with Jimmy, and he was like, "Yo, you know you can play online and shit." And I was like, "For real?" So I bought online and shit. We started playing. I was like, "How do you even buy a gun, bro? I didn't even know how to buy a fucking gun." I was just like running around, played the fuck out of that. Then we got on, and eventually we started playing, CODs, and that was just kind of the new thing. We just started playing games all the time together.
So for sure, COD is like one of the biggest.
Yeah,
for sure.
That was like one of the only games that I played growing up.
Yeah,
and then like
Minecraft for sure.
But before Minecraft, Total Miner, I used to play that.
Total Miner,
Castle Miner. Castle
Miner was hard. I remember we used to play those sandbox games like the
on the arcade.
Yeah, the ones that were free.
The community games.
Yeah, the community ones that you'd only play. I don't even know any of their names now. Those used to be the funnest games. Like
I think there was one game that you put me on. That Castle Miner Warfare.
I think so.
I think that was you.
I remember it was all those games like that. I used to play them all because I'd never like or they would never give me new games, and because Jimmy would always get them.
Yeah.
Jimmy would always get the new games.
You could play those for free.
Yeah, so I'd play those for free, and I'd have like 20 of those games downloaded because they'd be like 5 megabytes. Yeah, and back in the day,
tiny,
like 2 gigs was like the Xbox.
But that would take a minute to download. You
like
remember
2 megabytes. I'd download it when I go to school, and I come back and it'd be like 96.
Barely.
It'd be like 96.
That's when you had to buy the DLC with the was it Microsoft points? You remember that shit?
Yeah. I hated that
little
shit.
Cards, bro. Then you would always have extra points. I'm like, what the fuck?
What do I do with the 25 Minecraft points or Microsoft points?
That shit was lame. There was one time me and Jim were playing Modern Warfare 3 though, and I remember we would see people have their what's it called, like their record, and
y'all did that.
We did that. But the thing is, bro, we went like 60 or 70 games in a row. People thought we were capping.
I swear
when we looked to this day, you'll see the record, the game winning streak, like 71 games in a row, and we lost. And I was like, we were so sad, bro.
I remember for sure. Sad. I remember he called me in there because he tried to flex on me. Because he would always do like the little subtle flexes, and I'd be like, "That's so cool."
Yeah,
like that's so cool. But
yeah, we really were like people thought we were
capping. I swear.
But we were actually whooping ass, and then we got beat, bro. I remember we were like, nah, we gotta turn the box off if we lose. That way they don't set up on there. So we would turn that shit off.
Y'all would always do that. I did that multiple times, huh?
No, we did it. We only did it the last time because we were like, damn. And then after that, we were like, all right,
we gotta take our L.
We'll just put it on there. So we put like 71 and like 1. I was like, damn. That shit kind of hurt a little bit because I was like, we were really going hard.
That was that. I remember
bro.
I used to laugh at people like that because I used to not be able to go on streaks, and because I used to play with randoms.
And I thought people were capping, but
no, some people used to be on that.
I'm sure, but like
I've been dogged enough to know. Like,
yeah, no,
some people were really dogging,
like beating the shit out of people. And then when we seen them, after we beat them, they wouldn't even change their shit.
You hear what I said?
No, we were beating people, and then they would have the record too, and they wouldn't change. I was like, man, y'all some bums, bro. Like y'all trash.
And you match up with them like the next go around, like y'all queue at the same time. And you'd match up.
Yeah, because
bitch,
the game ended up dying, and we were still playing the shit out of it because like the new CODs were all lame as fuck.
It'd be like 15 squads on, so it'd be like you'd rotate through the same people, and if you'd beat them, be like, bitch, we just whooped your ass.
But then there'd be those people who would be good as hell, bro, and we were like, I hate matching up. I'm like, I'm leaving, bro. I ain't even gonna play with these fuck boys no more.
It'd be the MSR sniper, and then it'd be that one AR that was
ACR?
Disgusting. That was Modern Warfare 2.
Move.
That was Modern Warfare 2. What was the Modern Warfare 3?
No, the ACR.
Was it on Modern Warfare 3 too?
That shit was just, it was like it was literally just a laser.
It
didn't move at all.
No,
bro.
it was a SCAR, wasn't it? It was like the
ACR was the main gun.
I think it may have been the ACR for sure.
It was like a real box looking gun.
Yeah, it was like just like an AR or just one of them like generic joints, but it was like a laser. And the MSR used to eat that shit up.
And people used to use SitRep Pro and shit, so you couldn't even hear them. Like, no, you couldn't even hear them.
It did like there's no footsteps.
It would cancel out another perk, and I was like, bro, what the fuck is this? So people would just run the same shit. They'd put on the portable radars and shit. I was like, bro. And eventually we just started playing into the meta because I was like, fuck that, bro. I ain't gonna keep losing to dudes like this.
I became a meta kid once snipers came irrelevant. So like after Black Ops 3 was the last time I sniped for real, and that's when I started becoming a meta kid. I didn't even
play Black Ops 3 like that.
Bro, I played all the games up until
I played Black Ops 1 and 2, but Black Ops 3 only played zombies. I still play that. I still play that zombies to this day.
You play on PC?
Yeah, custom zombies go hard as fuck.
That shit, you think it'll? Nah, I probably won't run on my shit. I was about to say.
Maybe. I mean, it's an older game, so I don't know.
You think it'll probably run, but I have to use like low graphic settings.
I don't know what you're running, so
yeah, it's probably not it. But
that shit's fun. I always wanted to play custom zombies, like since I was like a fucking kid watching.
Y'all used to do
custom zombies. I was like, yo.
What y'all used to do? Where y'all used to download? You used to download like the Minecraft maps, like the fun Minecraft maps. And I remember you used to always have those.
So I was like one of the only people who knew how to do it.
Yeah, and you were gatekeeping that shit. You wouldn't tell nobody.
No, I used to run lobbies of a bunch of kids. We'd be playing Hunger Games. I would send them out. I don't remember what I used to do.
You used to send out like the mass messages. Yeah, it'd be like the recents and the mass messages. And you just like copy and paste, or like you'd send one message and you click all the recents.
Bro, I had hella people like
that's like take like 20 minutes.
Send me invite. I had the same people in there. And then I was
GTA, you do the GTA spam invite the recent players.
Oh yeah,
easy. She used to download those maps too, didn't she?
I think I did like a couple.
The snipers versus stunners.
Oh yeah, those are fun. But yeah, Minecraft, I was like one of the first because nobody ever did that. I was like,
you gatekeep the soul out of that.
Because we couldn't play like servers. There was no such thing.
There was no such thing.
And so we would have to do that. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just invite a bunch of randoms, and then we'd play, and then I'd have to. It
was so organized too. I don't know what it was about Minecraft back in the day, but if you invited people, they wouldn't bullshit. Like it would be straight Hunger Games.
If someone would bullshit, they're getting kicked.
Yeah, it would be straight.
Didn't want that to happen because nobody had maps like that.
Yeah,
nobody had a bunch of maps. I was like, all right, we're gonna play this one, and then we'll play this one. Most people, if they did have that, they had only made like one map on their own. But like,
yeah, and like it'd be made by their own. You'd have the ones that had all the detail, like the You had like the YouTube maps. Yeah,
exactly.
Everybody loved that. Germ was a YouTube plug, man. He was a Minecraft plug.
Jared used to call me king of the 12-year-olds, bro. Because I was like 14 or 15.
Still act 12 right now, bro.
I know. I was like 14 or 15 or something, but like nobody my age was playing Minecraft, and I was like a fucking nerd. I was like, I want to play Minecraft, but this shit lit. So I just sent out a bunch of messages and be little kids like 10 or something. I'm like,
it'd be me and my squad.
Hunger Games, bro. I don't give a shit. Like
it'd be like me and my squad, and then a bunch of other random little kids, and we were like, we're like 5 years apart, right?
Yeah,
I was like 9. I was like 9.
I was playing with kids like 10. I was like 14, 15 or something like that.
He was making dreams come true though.
Whoever, those kids used to love that shit.
I was one of those.
Hell, bro, please let me play this next, bro. Please.
You had so much power. I ain't gonna lie. I think I remember you getting a little power hungry.
You had motion for real.
He had motion. He had that motion, and he was being power hungry. I remember like some of them little kids, they would cry about that shit. I'd be one of them. I think I used to be one of them.
You gone, bro.
For sure.
There's only 8 spots. You can only play 8 people, and 8 people in the party. So I was like, bro, if you gonna act a fool, you gone.
There'd be like 4 spots guaranteed. It'd be like me, you, and then like 2 homies.
And then Fatso, you remember that?
Fatso, yeah, Fatso would be like the 5th homie, and so like 6, 7, and 8 was like a money grab. Like it was like a free for all.
People be waiting in line for that shit. That kid's funny, bro. I wish I knew what happened to him. I haven't added on my shit, but
I think I should have him added. He probably moved
he
over
don't
to
get on
PS5
anymore, bro. I think he did say he moved to PS. I was like, bruh, I want to see what that
shit.
kid's doing. I used to have his number one time because he actually lives here in Texas, bro.
I remember like we seen what he looked like, and we like clowned him for it.
You know what's funny is he said that he got his Xbox from a pawn shop, and he was like, it's like, bro, why is your name Fatso? He's like, well, this is the account name they had on here. I was like, so you tell me you logged into someone else's account, and that shit just said Fatso, and he left it. I was like, this is cap. You probably fat or something.
He's probably fat.
I don't know if he was
he fat. I can't remember now, but I remember we clowned him.
He's a little white kid.
I remember we were so. Like. I remember y'all were ruthless as fuck, and then that turned into me whenever I had my bro.
Jared was mean as hell to him, bro.
Jared met my roommate like a month ago on the game. He was like, "What's your name, bro? Geronimo."
Oh, his laugh
for like 20 minutes, bro. Just he was like, "Geronimo, you serious?" He's like, "Your parents named you that?" And then he said, "I'm adopted." Bro, for 20 more minutes, bro, it was endless.
Oh my
Geronimo
God.
was just sitting there in silence, and I was just dying because I didn't know how to say. I was just dying.
That's so terrible. Yeah, Jared be laughing like that for real.
Jared be having me weak, bro. I don't even know what he be doing now.
Yeah, I don't know. So do you still be playing games now, or not as often?
Last time I played the game was probably like 2 months ago. If I was with y'all, probably Sea of Thieves, like Sea of Thieves for real.
With Matt, yeah. Do you
Captain? What?
Yeah, that shit's fun, bro.
Look.
How do you feel about games now that you've gotten older and that maybe you don't play them as often?
I just don't have time. I love them so much, and because whenever I hop on now, if I play I'll play Call of Duty if I hop on. Like
you
I'll
still
play
have
ranked.
A group of friends you play with, or is it just you on your own?
They always have a random third, fourth, because I'm like I never play, so they're like, bro, we had this random last night. He was funny as hell. Like they're always telling me about a random because I don't play anymore. But like I remember if I do hop on, I'm so shit. Like
what are you playing now? Or
we're playing a new MW2. It's a new one, so we play ranked and stuff. Like they're sweats, so they play ranked, and if I hop on, it's straight ranked, and I'm shit. Like I have no touch. Like it's like whenever you don't hoop, I can't make layups. Like I don't even. I suck.
Yeah, that's the worst for real. I wish there was just more time because like I've been wanting to hoop recently. I've been like really like I don't know what it is, but recently I keep having this thought where I'm like, I want to go hoop, bro. Maybe I should go hoop. Maybe that's something I've been needing in my life.
We can always go hoop.
I love it.
We can always go hoop. I don't love it no more.
That shit never leaves me, bro. I don't know what it is. I mean, I love it like in the sense where like something about it's just so satisfying, so fulfilling. If I ever go play, like it's just like something about it. It's just like something so
do that
like,
for me no more.
Really?
After my junior year, I think I definitely played my senior year with no love at all. Like I played with zero, no passion, no fun. You know? Like I played it with no, like I didn't love it at all.
Yeah.
And even now, I still don't really like. I fuck with it because I'm pretty good. So like it's always fun to be able to be better than somebody else. But like I just don't love it the same. Like it's just not fun anymore. Like I don't know. I could blame it on the coach, but it was because I failed and I'm an idiot. Like I just decided to be a shithead student, skipping and all that, smoking. Even now, I smoke weed, but the biggest thing for me is balance. So like I need to balance everything I do. Mm-hmm. So that's the biggest way I had to come to terms with that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier too. Like with the job shit, like I was working so fucking much that I had like zero balance in my life. And then once it's so weird because now that I've switched jobs, I see the other side. It's like night and fucking day. I'm like, even though I made this compromise to make less money, I'm much more happier. I never like, maybe I'll like be worried about money sometimes, but like I don't worry about like being so miserable, having all these problems, going to therapy like every fucking week because I got all this baggage because I'm not like, I just missing a lot of different things in my life. Now I have a lot of things that I've been wanting in life. And so I feel like pretty grateful. A lot of days. But I mean, you know, life is still hard and there's still a lot of goals and things outside of
like it feels better to wake up and go to work. Yeah. Like I think that's the whole difference is being able to wake up and feel good.
Yep. I don't wake up and be like, damn, I gotta go to work. I used to work dead ass like 3 or 4 days. Like once I got towards the end of like, cause I used to work like maybe like 5-6 days at Amazon. And then as time progressed, I was like, I'm making a lot of money. Like I don't need to work this many days. I started working like 3 or 4 days. Every time, bro, I got off of work for that last day, I had like 2-3 days off or whatever.
Too much time off.
Well, not just that, but like I would on the next like the day that right before work, I was like, fuck, dude. So I gotta work for 3-4 days, but I'm like, these days are gonna be fucking awful. Now when I'm going to work, I don't think about none of that shit. And I'm like, oh, I gotta go to work, bro. I work like 5 days out of the week now, 5-6 days. it feels like a breeze, bro. It feels like I'm just walking through the days because it's
Honestly,
just
since I've
easy.
been back, that's how it's been feeling. So like I have a full-time job too, so I have to work 5 days, and my days off are Sunday and Monday, and I love that way better than like Saturday. Cause
Yeah,
I'd be,
I think I like that too.
I love that a lot more. But like it feels a lot better because I have so much more time and I'm making more money. So I worked 3 jobs, but I wasn't making as much money as I am now. But I had less time,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had school too. So it's the summertime. All I have to do is work.
Yep.
So like I have so much free time, or it's not really like I don't have that much free time, but to me it's like I have so much time to do whatever.
What else do you do outside of work? Are you doing anything else? Like, is there any like hobbies that you got going on? Or you
Really, I just be hanging out with my girl for real. Cause I don't like to do because I'll party, but every time we step out there always happens to be a problem.
Yeah.
Cause I hang around with light skins. So
what does that mean?
they be talking to these shorties that have boyfriends.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, so it's, sometimes you don't even know.
Yeah.
But like it's just one of those things. So we get into a lot of altercations because especially my friend AC, he's wild. He was blacked out before. Like last night I came to the crib because I was like, my roommate's cool with all of them, and he was like, they always ask me. I'm like Big Papa. They were like, can we pregame at the house? I was like, G said to ask you. I was like, he's like, I'll get it, bro. I understand. I was like, all right, yeah, that's all good. And then he texted me again. He was like, bro, can we please pregame at your house? And I was like, bro, why can't you do it at your house or at Macy's house? And he was like, well, I had beef with my roommates. I'm like, you're too old to be beefing with the people you live with. And then he was like, Macy don't have a spot,
kids, bro, because they be living with
dickheads,
roommates, bro. Like
yeah.
Nathan was living with like 2 or 3 other people. They always got problems, bro. Somebody not cleaning up, someone not paying. They had rent. It was like $250, but they couldn't even pay that shit.
Bro, that shit's like, a cakewalk, bro.
I was like, that's cheap as hell. Like, it's not that bad.
I was pissed about hearing your rent.
Oh yeah, yeah. People get mad. I thought like, my rent was kind of high because I would always be asking people. Right, I didn't even ask anybody. I just didn't know about it because I hadn't looked for a house in like 4 or 5 years. So like, people were like, yeah, I gotta pay like this amount. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, damn, maybe
you said you told me the amount. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, maybe I got it good. And then even the new rent's like 7.
That's way better than what I'm doing. I need to look at this shit.
People were saying they start at like 1,000. I'm like, damn, bro.
The apartments are sometimes real crazy, like $1,250.
Fuck
like
that,
almost
like
1,500.
1 bedroom. I'm like, nah.
Some of them are real nice though, but it's like, nah. I just get a house, or I'll get like something like this. I like this a lot. Too. I was honestly like, I was gonna ask for the link because
for here.
Yeah, because this shit is fire.
There might be like one open, but I think they got rid of like the last ones recently.
Yeah, I don't know. I just need I really want to live alone. It's cool having a roommate, but we always have our differences.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's why I didn't want to do it, but I think in some ways, but especially if you're not paying a lot, you save a lot of money.
Yeah,
and it's cool always having someone around because there's always something
to do, and like because he likes to do shit too. Yeah. So I always have something to do if I want to hang out with him.
Yeah, but then there's those times where you just want to be alone. You don't want nobody there. You don't want to be.
I want to walk around in my underwear type shit. Like I can't do that with the roommate. Yep. Well, maybe, but like he'd be having guests over, and I don't want to walk into the living room and he has like a friend over, and I'm in my drawers. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah, that'd be some shit right there.
Oh, but like I was saying, he was like about the AC thing. He was like, bro, please. He's like, I'll mow your lawn next week for free. Cause I already pay him to mow my lawn. I was like, I'll be a regular customer, but you got to be here every week or two. Like I'm serious about it. Like I got you. I was like, all right. So he cut our lawn. He's like, I'll mow your lawn next week for free. And I was like, it's not that deep that you got to give a free lawn care. I said verbatim. I was like, the boundaries,
bro. Just like, no, please, bro.
I was like verbatim. I was like, it gets that deep where you got to offer up free lawn care. And he was like, I was like, you know what, bro? If y'all can clean up for yourself after yourself, and if I don't see a single beer can when I get home, I'll let y'all pregame whenever y'all want. But if y'all do, this will be the last time.
Yeah.
So this morning, or I came home last night. Me and Shorty came home at like midnight. It was dirty, and I was pissed. And I was like, all right. So I just went to my room. We just went to bed. I wake up in the morning, and they're up there cleaning. They're cleaning. Yeah. Him and Geronimo are cleaning. I walk out there. I'm like, yeah, y'all better be cleaning that shit up. And they just smack their teeth, and I look at them. I'm like, clean that shit up. And I come back into my room. Yeah. It was kind of, honestly, sometimes it's kind of dickheadish, but if you don't act that way, they won't do nothing, or they'll act like it's all right.
Yeah. You gotta have those boundaries. Yeah. You gotta let people know.
Yeah, that shit's not all right, but sometimes like, you gotta act like a dickhead, and I'm trying to be better about that because I'm starting to think they're fucking with me less and less. But I'm just, it's my place where I lay my head, and I don't want that shit to be dirty. Yep. If I come home after work, or if I wake up in the morning to go to work, I expect it to be clean.
You're paying bills and shit there. You know what I'm
saying? we pay too much.
Yeah.
So, it pisses me off.
Yeah,
And
well,
then-
that's good though that you letting people know, because if not, people would just like walk all
Walk
over.
over
I
you.
remember before I had the rule where like people don't. I don't like shoes in the house,
Mhm.
but it's not because like it's mostly because it gets really dirty in here. Like the weather stripping here is like real bad. Like I had to like you can see all that dirt on the window right there, but
Mhm.
like I had to put all this like a caulking almost on there. What I don't know what it's called, but like I had to
It's
put
like
it
this
on there.
the ceiling.
Yeah. Because the maintenance people, they're terrible, bro. They didn't even put the windows in there, right? So like there used to be hella dirt there. And then
Are
even
they
over
quick
there,
with them? Like if you put in a request, are they quick with
somewhat. Yeah, but they just kind of half-ass a lot of time.
that? I mean,
But
yeah.
like before I had that rule, it was like there was always dirt all in the house, and I don't like walking around and just feeling like dirt, and then I have to wipe
Especially when you
my
have
sock
like
off like this.
tile.
Yeah, wipe my sock off, and there's just hella dirt. I'm like, bruh. So I was like, you know what? No more shoes because that'll help mitigate
Mhm.
some of it, and so it has. But like for a while, like fuck it, I'll put him on blast. When Nathan was here, he'd always be like, bro, why do I gotta take my shoes off? Like he was getting mad about that shit, and I was like, bro, you don't have to be
Take
here
your
then,
shoe
bro.
off,
You
bro.
gotta leave, dog. He's like, I always gotta untie my shoes. I'm like, I don't.
Why are you
What
tying them so
what-
fucking
What
tight?
you want me to tell you, bro? Like, yeah, I'll make an exception for you. No, like, no, I don't even walk around in the house with shoes on. So like, if I don't do that, like, I don't want no one else to do it because it just brings more dirt into the house. So
Yeah.
you gotta let people know.
And sometimes it's
not
just
that you be getting
respecting if
mad.
they can't like
It's just the
respect your
rule. It's
wishes.
my house.
Yeah.
It's my house. Like, I paid for this place. I live by my own rules. So if you're in my house, I invite you here and you're welcome in my house. Like, then there's also rules you gotta follow. Like, I wouldn't just want. Plus, also just like a respecting. If I went to
Yeah.
someone's house, I wouldn't be like, just walk. Like I remember as a kid, I would walk into people's house and just go walk in, open up their pantry, and just be like, "Can I get something?" Without asking, I would just do that shit.
Yeah, that shit.
gotta
Yeah,
have those
you
rules
get to
and
a point.
boundaries.
You get to a point where you become conscious of those decisions, but like everybody did it at some point. It's just whenever you get to a certain age and you're still doing it, like, bro,
Yeah, you can't.
you too old to be leaving your trash on my table. You better throw it away before
Yeah.
you leave.
Or even in the car.
Yeah,
Hate
no,
that shit, bro.
the car should be.
I don't even
If
care
there's
if
gonna be
it's a
trash in
little
my car, it
straw.
should be mine.
Yeah, I don't even care if it's a straw thing. Like you better throw that.
Pick
take
that shit
Take it
up.
with you, bro. It's a little straw. Like, just throw that shit away. How you feeling? You wanna keep going for a minute, or
Yeah,
you
we
wanna
can
kind of you want to kind of wrap it up with my final questions?
No, we can.
Because I still have all that there.
Honestly, bro, it feels like it's been 20 minutes.
Yeah, it has.
I don't.
And
It don't
these
feel like
are-
it's been that
yeah.
long. We can keep going, but it's whatever. If you got something to do, we can.
Let me see. I wanted to kind of see what you think about this because I remember you watched the pod where I was with my friend Natty and we were
Mhm.
talking about the like people in Lubbock and shit.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just see like what you think because I know we talked about it briefly on Snap, but you were talking about like I guess like what is your experience growing up here in Lubbock?
I've been
Any
called.
instances that like maybe stick out to you in particular?
Yeah. So I've had some like bad experiences, but I've also had really good experiences. I mean, I've had it to where I've been called like racial slurs.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you know the
for
classics
sure.
for sure. Like I've had those, but
Especially in
also
school,
been-
you know,
yeah.
those teachers.
some of them teachers have hit me with some crazy stuff. And
Yeah,
like,
no, for real.
but I'm a bad kid, so some of it's not even. Some of it's
They
acceptable.
just
'Cause
well, they just be mad and
some of it,
just let it
some of
out.
them might be pushing it to it, but like, there's been some times where it's unwarranted. Like even just working, like being like a cashier or like working the drive-through, it'll get bad sometimes. But other than that, it's honestly it's very accepting depending on, because everybody's kind of has that little. Everybody wears boots. Like I've seen everybody wear boots.
Yeah.
Everybody's got some in common. If you're in Lubbock, you got something like with somebody else here.
That's true.
I don't know
You
why
can
it's
say-
like
well,
that.
Yeah, I guess so. I think it just depends on the group of people you're with. But I feel like Lubbock also lacks a little bit of those groups sometimes.
But I think it's very centered in certain areas. Like West Side, I think the West
Yeah, I
Side
think so
and
too.
South Side are definitely the most like pretentious. Definitely the most. They're definitely
Yeah.
the most
What side? And you said South Side?
South Side. Yeah. So like Cooper and
Where all
Friendship
the,
area.
Yeah, where all the those are like the newer areas of Lubbock
Yeah,
that are just coming up.
Honestly, it's like the side where, hate to say, it's like the money side. Cooper and because Cooper has a whole nother high school. Like they're getting populated. They're building a second loop.
Mm-hmm.
So that's most the more pretentious side. But like, I've always been. We lived on the north side for a long time. I don't know if you've ever been to that house. We had a couple houses on the north side.
The 2-story?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's where I was always at, bro. That's
Yeah,
where
yeah,
the
yeah,
little
that's the
room was
spot.
on the left side.
Yeah,
Dirty
that was
as
the
hell.
spot. That was for sure.
Yeah, I used to love that.
I didn't even
house.
sleep in there. I never was in that room.
No, I know. That's why it was so dirty.
Yeah, I was
bro.
never in there. But then like, all my homies like, I don't have like, I hate to say it, but I don't have any white friends. Like there's not a single white person that I hang out with
Yeah.
day to day. It's always like, it's just,
I think actually all my friends, or not all my friends, but my main friends right now are white.
yeah, my best
like,
friend
I have other
is
friends that are like mixed, but like the main people I talk to,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't know. It's kind of I don't know why it's like that. I mean, it's not like I'm like doing that on purpose. It's just like that's who I've grown up with and who I've stuck with, like my chosen family. But
I think it's just the people that you kind of get along with.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so because of that, as a group, whenever we go out or we go to certain places or we go to certain functions in certain areas, when we walk into a function, we get looked at like even last week we almost got into a fight with some people because they were just calling us ghetto, like just for no
Really?
reason, like just calling us ghetto, and that's not even that bad, honestly. Like that's like sometimes like I could care less.
Yeah.
But like there's certain times where like it can get pretty deep. But like they called us ghetto, and I think it was one of those deep moments like where it was like I guess malicious intent behind it. So like shit, did I say it right? I hope no. But like it was one of those things where like we all had to calm down and realize if we do act out, they're right.
Yeah.
So I've been saying a lot is like the best reaction is no reaction.
That's true.
If they're gonna call us ghetto and call us hoodlums, like let's just act normal and not act like that.
Yeah,
like there's no reason.
Yeah.
Because then they're right. Then next time they see us, they're like, oh, he's ghetto as hell.
Yeah.
And I've had my moments where I've acted out for sure. Like where I've had like where you can like I'm talking like I'm looking at rings. I'm like talking to the ring, like talking shit to the ring. Like it's bad.
Yeah.
There's been moments where it's just like it gets really bad. But that's when like you grow up and you just have to learn better.
There was a moment where I don't know if you used to go with me, but we used to hoop late as fuck at Bodyworks.
Yeah, I was always out there.
I was with Andy one time and we like got done. I was wearing like a black hoodie and black shorts, you know, because that's just what I hooped in. And I had the hoodie on. We went to the store. It was over there. You know where the Park Tower is? It was like that. It's kind of like in a bad area. It's like on Avenue Q.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like one. And there's like those baseball fields in
It's
front
almost
of
like a bodega type spot, or is it like a Stripes?
It was I think it's a 7-Eleven.
Oh,
It's right
okay,
there by the
yeah.
Orlando's.
Yeah.
And the Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
So we went to that store right there, and we were in there for like 2 minutes, bro. I walked in, and I was like trolling him, and I had my hoodie on and stuff because we just got done or whatever. That's just how I was rolling. So like the way the store was laid out, it was like you walk in like this, and then all the stuff is back here,
Mhm.
and then the front desk is like back here. So like I walked in, we go, and I see some candy, and I grab it, and I'm like, I'm gonna get that. And then I walk around the back, and I was like, nah, I don't want that shit. So like I threw it, whatever, like just kind of like fucking around. And as soon as I walk around, the lady at the front was like, nah, I seen that. And I looked at her, I was like, who's you talking to? I was like, what? She's like, I seen that. She's like, put that shit back. I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, I seen you. Don't be trying to steal in my store. I was like, you talking about this candy? She was like, yeah, I seen it. You put it in your jacket. I literally was like, I don't even have anything like on me, like at all. And then Andy was like, what, you talking about this candy, bitch? Like he was mad because we were kind of being like almost profiled in a sense.
Yeah.
Like not really, but like I think because we were Mexican and we had hoodies on and shit, like she thought we were doing some shit.
Y'all kind of looked apart.
Yeah, like we were wearing like I was
yeah.
wearing like all black clothing, so she thought we were doing some shit. And then he was like, and he's like, you talking about this candy, bitch? And that like made her mad because she realized that she was wrong. She's like, nah, fuck that. She's like, I know you have it. Like I know you're stealing. And then literally there was some lady, I swear like somebody else was stealing, and they like walked out real sneaky and shit. And we were like, anyways, we were walking out.
I've seen that a couple times
Bro,
where people were like,
she had me sick because have you seen that meme of that black dude who's on the phone? He's all like looking out the window like this. Yeah, she literally looked like that, bro. We had parked right in front, and then she was like, y'all need to fucking leave. I'm calling the cops. Like y'all need to get off the property. So we left. We went across the street, literally just like right across the street. And she came outside and she was on the phone and she's like, yeah, they're out here in these cars and blah blah. And now they just drove across the street and I think they're selling drugs. And I was like, bro, what? I was like, yo. Now you push, like now you're moving too far, bro. Cause like we didn't steal nothing. You're mad that we didn't steal nothing. We showed you we didn't steal nothing. Then we moved across the street and she's still like snitching. And I was like, bruh. So like that was one of the worst times that I would call. I don't know if it was really like racially profiling, but like it was definitely like excessive as fuck for sure. Yeah, that she like felt a certain way, even though I guess because we kind of looked the part, so she maybe played into the stereotype. But
I can't lie. Sometimes whenever I've gotten to those situations, it's almost warranted. Like I'd be acting out. It's never all right to call somebody a racial slur, but like I know I push people to make them so mad to where they have to call me heinous things. Like
yeah, that's crazy though.
But like to even have to,
I wouldn't justify that shit.
There's so much self control you can have as a person, and I know if I could push those buttons sometimes, and it's kind of bad. It's not a good trait. It's almost I don't know, but sometimes I was just like, damn, I'm not even mad about that. Like I made you say that. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But that's just me being a little kid and being immature. And like when you break it down, you could realize some of these people really like feel that, like they really mean that like
people,
they really
are
feel that
like
way.
that, yeah.
To me, I'm just a little kid about it. Like I do that because I like that reaction. But as I grew up, like I kind of have to break it down and understand these situations are more than what they seem or appear to be. But that's just how we're growing up and like thinking back on past experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, you can't really learn from experiences until a little later on, unless like it's something crazy that happens. But like certain like little everyday conversations you have, you don't really think about those until later on.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of what defines certain things. It's like always for me. I always say it's the little things. Like it's always the little things.
I think so. Yeah, I think that kind of makes sense because I'm thinking back to when I was like 18 or 19. I feel like I didn't I feel like when I was maybe like 20 or 21 is when I feel like I just like woke up for some reason. I had like this. It wasn't like just one moment, but it was like over the course of like a year, I had this epiphany. Like, bro, life is still moving on, and like I'm not doing anything with my life. I was like in a bad relationship. I wasn't doing anything like productive. I think I was like I had like a bum ass job. Just kind of living day by day, like not doing a whole lot. And then I had this epiphany, like, bro, I want to be doing more. Like I probably should be doing more. Yeah. And so like I had like that awakening, but I think that's maybe kind of what you're saying too. I guess is like you don't realize that shit until you get older, you know, because it doesn't really hit you that much. And then once you live on your own and stuff, then you start having like to
start making more conscious decisions. That's what it all dialed down for me. Is I was just doing all this shit like kind of spur of the moment, and that's just like, of course, that's being a little kid, but even there's like I could use that as an excuse all day, but there was kids out there that were doing better and like being smarter. Like I was just being stupid. Yeah. But I always had to like I didn't learn from it in the moment. It took me some time to realize I was just an idiot.
Yeah. But I think is kind of as bad as that might be. I think it's also like kind of good.
It's needed depending on who you are.
Now you can see like I feel like it might. I think in a lot of ways it probably has changed you. I feel like I can kind of see it just by like talking to you a little bit, but like. It's like, I don't know. It's like those people who go to jail for something and they come out like a changed person. Yeah. That's kind of like an extreme example, but like it's kind of one of those. It's kind of one of those things. Like I think for me, like anger was a big part of my life growing up. I think it was like kind of, I think maybe like repressed a little bit, but it also was like very like, it's very out there. Like I would be mad about a lot of shit all the time, and then like I didn't realize that shit until I was like with my ex at the time, and she was like, "Why you always like mad about stuff?" And like she kind of like helped me figure that shit out a little bit. And then
that was one of my biggest obstacles. Like the biggest thing was like I hated waking up angry. Like I was so mad all the time, and that also goes back to what we were talking about earlier, not worrying about the things you can't control. Like it's hard to, because it's like you dwell on it and it makes you so mad, and it's hard to like better that because you don't know how. Like I don't know how to like, you know.
Yeah, I think for me, like I had to learn how to kind of integrate the anger into my life a little bit, while also not really like acting on it in like a negative manner. Because for a long time I used to think anger was just wrong completely. Like I was like, if you're mad about shit, bro, you shouldn't be mad about it. Like you should never be mad. I used to really think like anger was like an emotion that you shouldn't even have. And then it took me a while to realize like it's also needed sometimes. And I think it's good to learn how to integrate that into yourself. And so I feel like in a lot of ways I've been trying to learn how to do that within the past couple of years.
That's good. I think it's weird to say, but like you almost find clarity through anger. Like you can feel it sometimes.
It helps you realize a lot of shit. It's a very good indicator. Like
especially
any
on the
other
come
emotion.
down. Like on the come down of anger is I think when I think the most is when I'm coming down from being angry. Like it's like, oh shit.
It's funny.
Did that. Oh shit, I did that.
The thing that's always been funny to me is about anger is like little shit will piss you off, and then when you think about it later, you're like, that shit's actually
laughable. Yeah, it's laughable for real.
I remember one time my day was going so bad, bro, and then it got to the point where like something little happened, like some real dumb shit, and I just started laughing. I was like, yo, the day is going awful, but this on top of it is just crazy. It's like, why? Like, why did this have to happen? Like, this don't happen on any other day except for the day that I'm mad. Yeah. Or is it just that I'm mad and I'm just noticing all the little shit that's pissing me off?
You're picking it apart, yeah.
So, like, I think that's what's crazy about being, like, angry is that sometimes if you just, like, when you take a step back, if you can, you're like, this is actually just funny, bro.
Yeah, it's just
like, it's not even that. It's just all the little shit adding up.
I hate it. It's always a little shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, it's the big things you sometimes can work past and work through, but little things, once they add up, it's almost unbearable.
But I think you can also turn that on itself as well, because it's the little things in life that are actually important.
Beautiful. The little things that are so beautiful. And I really had to find like balance. You have to differentiate the bad little things and the good little things. And it's always like the walking, like seeing nature, like looking at trees. Like it sounds
if you
so
just take
stupid.
a step back, bro, and
But
just
like calm
look
down and
and appreciate it, you'll be like, yo, there's actually some beautiful shit
like
going
looking
on
at the
right now.
clouds, like that's beautiful. Like it's just
The
like
nice
little
sunsets,
things.
yep.
Like seeing we saw the light progress from how it was sunny all the way down into night. Like I think this little shit like that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the moon come up, the different phases of it.
Oh yeah. There was this guy that I was working with recently, and we were taking out the trash, and he was showing me how to like lift up the thing or whatever. And we lifted it up to the point, and then like the rope on it snapped, and this shit almost made me cry in a moment, bro, because like I'm not used to this kind of shit, but it like broke and it fell down real hard, and like it didn't hit me, but like the guy was just like, he looked over, he's like, "You all right?" And I was like, "Damn." I was like, nobody be at
Like,
dudes don't ask it. They be like, "Bro,
things.
why the fuck?" Most time, the most common reaction I'm used to hearing is like, "Why the fuck did you do that? Why'd you break it? Why'd you fuck it up? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?" And they'll get mad at you instead of being like, he wasn't mad. He's just like, "You all right?" And then he realizes like, "Oh, that's actually my bad. Like I told you to crank it up." He wasn't mad at all. He's just real calm. And then I was like, damn. I was like, that little shit right there, that like made like my whole day, bro. And that happened like weeks ago, and I still remember this shit. I'll probably remember that shit forever, bro.
Yeah.
That made me want to change because like I'm sure in a lot of ways, I probably the way that I just
extended
told you
that compliment almost like extended that
yeah. Well, the way that I expected it to go is probably a lot of the ways that I have my interactions go with other people. So like now that it happens, I can think later on, like if I'm with someone in this similar situation pops up, I might be like, "You all right,
bro? Yeah,
you okay?" Like,
right?
And then and then we could talk about it further. But making sure they're okay was like, I was like, damn, bro.
It's like the little
kind of hit me.
Yeah, it's like the honestly, it's like on a bigger scale. It's like when somebody tells you they're proud of you. Like hearing somebody say
that shit a lot, bro.
Yeah,
when
so like,
someone says that shit be hitting.
My pops told me he was proud of me for like the first time in like a while, like last week or 2 weeks ago. And like I started crying. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, but it's because I realized there's so many things I were doing and so much stuff I was going for that I was chasing like I was chasing those words. And after a while, it almost possesses you. And like I was saying, I was obsessed. Like right now, I think I'm obsessed with, like I always say, I want the whole world. Like I'll be like, "Would y'all acknowledge me as Emperor Espinosa?" Like, bro, I want everything.
This dude.
I want everything. I really do. And so I'm obsessed with that. So like that's why I don't take days off now, because I'm obsessed with that.
Yeah.
But like beforehand, it was just little things, and then it was just 2 words or like 3 words that you chase so hard, and once you get them, it's almost like, damn, that's it.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot because I feel like in a lot of ways I was like that too. I think where I'm at now is like I'm still not like perfect, but like my mindset has shifted a lot with this, and it's like to me. I always was like those people you always hear the stories of them coming up like, yeah, we grinded all day, every fucking day. And to me, it's like, it's like that, like if that's how you did it, bro, that's how you did it. But to me, what I'm doing, like even if I only work, if I'm grinding all day at work and then I get off and I'm working out and then I get home and I only get to edit for like 2 hours, and people were like, yeah, but I grinded for 10 hours and I went to bed and I only got 3 hours sleep. I'm like, that's cool, bro. But that's what you want to do. I don't want to live like that. And so if I don't become like great, fuck it, I don't care. But if I do become great, then cool. But that wasn't why I was doing it. I was doing it because I enjoyed it. That was the plan, yeah. And so like that's kind of where I've been at now. It's like if I'm gonna just do what I want to do, what I know how to do at the best of my abilities. Even if it's not what people are saying, like you got to be grinding all days, fucking 20 hours a day or some crazy shit. And if I'm not great, I'm not great. And if I'm great, then I'm great. That's how I feel now. Like I'm not. I think that's where
I need to get into a position where I'm moving with passion and I'm doing something that I really enjoy. Because I'm just going through the motions. I'm doing what I have to do almost, but like I'm really trying to think long term about it, but I don't like where I'm at right now. Like I know if I get that piece of paper, that little diploma will change a lot, but like I got to do a lot just to get there. And a lot of people want like overnight success. It's just like it takes time, and
I don't want that.
I hate that shit. I hate taking time, but I'm doing it. Like I have to. There's no other way around it. But I'm self-aware enough to realize how much I hate putting that time in, but I do it regardless. But like I understand that I hate it, but it's needed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes it is.
It is needed.
Push past that for sure. I think you're doing pretty great though, from what we've talked about, even off the pod.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you're doing pretty well. To me, like I haven't really talked to you like in a while, and the last time I remember you were still like I was like a fucking kid, bro.
Yeah,
like, I think the last time I like really was like hanging around you was like 16, 17 or something.
Still in high school for
sure. You're still like a kid. And like now, like
I'm still a kid. I'm just a little bit more mature.
Yeah, I would say like in a lot of ways, it seems like you've like really like grown up a lot and you've matured. And I think it's just all a part of your journey, and I think you'll figure out a lot of this shit along the way. Like I know I kind of understand a lot of what you're saying and the way that you feel right now, because I think I think men probably, I mean maybe even just in general most people, but I think people can really like resonate with what you're saying and relate to you because it's pretty common. So like not to like invalidate the way that you're feeling, but I think a lot of people are exactly with. I think people are with you
because I know that I'm in a spot right now that's very common. There's a lot of people that are doing a lot of the same things that I am, but there is people who are doing more and less.
Yeah.
So it's just.
But I think you're going to figure it out along the way. I think you being in that spot, that problem that you have, I think you even being there is like an indicator that you're going to overcome that, and then that'll be a problem in the past, and then something else will come up. Just like life. That's just how it is.
Motion.
But you'll figure it out along the way is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Of course. I guess I feel like we kind of touched over all the shit that I had, pretty much. So if you're ready, we can get into these podcasts, these every podcast questions from my guests here.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Oh, let me ask you some questions.
Yeah.
What are your outlets for stress? Like just specifically stress. What are your outlets? If you have any, and if you don't, what would you want to become your outlets?
I think one is meditating. I've been doing that now for like. I started doing that when I was a kid, but I didn't really understand what the fuck it meant. I thought you just had to sit down in a room and just be quiet. And then as I got older, I realized there's so many different techniques and different ways to put you in different states of mind that work better for different people. And Lola, come over here, bro. Hurry up. But yeah, meditating's been a big one. I think I do like this breathing exercise. Like I change it up all the time. Or not all the time, but like frequently. But the one I've been doing now is like a breathing exercise. And basically like you do a lot of inhalations and exhalations. I think you do it like 30 times.
Do you time between each?
No, you just do it like all the way in, all the way out, all the way in, just not forcefully, just kind of do it at a pace. Usually I watch a video and it kind of helps with it, but at the very end, you sit for 90 seconds without breathing at all. And it's so weird because your mind will keep telling you need to breathe. But if you relax, you get very tense. Like your stomach, I always notice I feel like I just like very tense. And if I just relax, I can sit there and I literally will not breathe for like 90 seconds. And you just feel like this really weird like peace, like this tranquility. And like you're just really like tapped in.
It like soothes your body almost?
Like quite literally, bro. One time I was like anxious as fuck before work. Like I felt a pit. I felt my mind racing, and I did the breathing exercise, and this is exactly what it's for. But it's to help neutralize all the defects in your body, and that's exactly what it did. It was so fucking weird, and it was like hard to do it because while I was doing the breathing exercise, along the way, I was still fighting with it. I was still going back and forth with anxiety instead of just being present with it. And then I was able to just chill and be with the practice. And at the very end of it, I was done. It's like weird because you'll be done, and for some reason your vision's like kind of weird after you get done. It's like everything's kind of at this green tone to it. Yeah, I got done and I thought about it and I was like, it's so weird because time goes by so slow but so fast when you're doing it. And that at the very end, I was like, bruh, I was literally anxious as fuck like 5 minutes ago, and now it's like gone.
It's completely gone.
It was literally gone, bro. It was so weird. So that's something I do. There's so many different techniques that you can do for
that's
meditation.
Real interesting. You know, honestly, like what you said before, I just thought it was sitting in a room. Like before you explained it to me, that's what I thought it was. That's real interesting.
And that's just one technique. There's so many. There's one where you stare at a certain point. How do I explain this? So if we were gonna stare at the camera right now, you focus on the lens itself, and while you're staring at that same point, you move your attention outwards. So like, let's just stare at it right now. Can you see Mew without looking at her? That's what you'll do, and you do that, and it helps with a lot of focus and apparently like motivation and shit. That's another one that I've tried. This one you should try. This one's hard as fuck. If you're ever feeling like empty inside, you want to feel something, just sit still for 5 minutes. Do like 3 minutes even. Don't move. Don't scratch. Don't do nothing at all. Just literally sit there and just be relaxed. And you'll find it's one of the hardest fucking things you ever do. Because your mind will start sending so many alarms, like you got to scratch. You feel like you're like off centered. You feel like you got to do this, you got to do that, and your mind, it'll literally send you. So it's fucking crazy, bro. It's one of the craziest.
I'm gonna have to try that one.
Meditation techniques that I've done. But yeah, they're all used for something different and for different parts of your life. That's
pretty cool.
You're struggling with certain things.
I always just thought it was just like sitting down, like the you know.
Yeah, no. So you can do shit like that too. There's some they're called like Om chanting and shit like that. They help with. There's some. I can literally talk about this for a minute because I've been getting into
researching it.
But yeah,
I've always been curious about that because it's always good to look for new outlets and then, but like for me, it's always just been the same things. Just like I just read, you know.
I think it varies from person to person. That's a big thing I do. Another one is journaling.
I need to get more into that.
Working out is a good one.
That too. I haven't worked out since my senior year of high school.
Really?
Because I don't like working out unless it's for something. So I just didn't.
I think if you work out, you'll realize it is for something. There's a lot of benefits for it.
I felt a lot better when I used to work out too, like just feeling better.
Yeah, you won't feel like groggy or like sore all the time. Yeah, I've been working out for the whole year. This year it's been a hell of a journey. Another thing I've been doing is taking cold showers.
That's wild.
That shit's terrible.
That shit is so wild.
It's actually like it's so terrible, but it's also like so incredible too.
Yeah.
I could talk about that for a minute. Actually,
I've taken cold showers, but not by choice. Like,
if you do, I think the hardest part of it is getting in. Once you're there,
you acclimate.
And then my favorite feeling is when you're done, your body regains its temperature. It's like one of the best feelings ever, bro, because you're so cold and you get out and your whole body just fills up with warmth. Like you can literally, it's just like you can feel it coming from the middle, just outward.
It's like putting on a fresh pair of warm socks.
Yes, literally, bro. It's incredible. Playing games sometimes. I'm trying to like escape.
That was probably the easiest when I was young, was just playing games. That was always easy. It's just whenever you get too serious into a game, it becomes not fun. Whenever you try too hard, and you'd be like the same way with like basketball. It's not a game anymore. It became like something I had to do. Yeah,
I think you might have even also been able to see, but there's a lot of shit that I've written down. So like creating spaces and time for certain tasks. I've been trying to do that more. There's a note I have over there to help with like. You can do this with anything, but I try to do it with gaming because I feel like gaming got boring as fuck after a while because it's just like you were like on autopilot. But now what I try to do is like I try to learn how to just be with an experience and don't place any judgment on it. Just let it happen. If I hate it, I hate it. If I love it, I love it. And like when I play games now, if I fucking am mad the whole time, I'm mad the whole time. If I just try to experience,
always the same thing.
I try to experience the experience. That's what I'm trying to do.
I've been playing a lot of single player games because I find more enjoyment in that.
That is fun. I haven't done that in a while, but
I used to play Assassin's Creed after like every night just because it was just I got to hop on the game. I played at a low difficulty too because I did not want to get mad.
Yeah, like I think another thing you should try too. Like I've been playing Outlast Trials. I haven't watched like I think what was really cool about gaming.
People love that Outlast stuff.
You remember like playing games as a kid? It just felt so much more fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it came with ignorance. And so like this game, I haven't watched nobody play it. I haven't watched any lore on it. I just play it and I observe things as I play. Like maybe I can watch the story kind of unravel on my own. That's been cool because it's like I've been playing it for like a month now. That shit's still fun.
Yeah.
And like I don't be like I don't know. It's just like a different kind of experience because usually I'm like trying to get everything I can just to know everything about it. Like so.
I think that's also kind of took the fun away from certain games is because like
you milk the shit out of it.
Yeah, you become like too obsessed and too involved into it. Like you just love it. Like I forgot which game it was for me, but it was Overwatch for sure. I was obsessed with Overwatch. Like Overwatch 2 came out and I played it for a couple months and I didn't like the way I was feeling because I was like, bro, I might be obsessed again.
Yeah.
So I had to
maybe just take time and then let yourself be obsessed with it for a couple of days and don't play it.
Yeah.
The way you come back to it. And then it's like fulfilling again. I think that's what helps with Outlast is I don't play it every single day.
Yeah, that was my problem because when I will,
I get to play this shit, bro.
I will play it every day. That's my problem is if I really enjoy a video game, I'll play it every day until it's not enjoyed. It's like when you overplay a song. If you play a song too many times, I mean, I know you still listen to "Don't" by Bryson Tiller, huh?
That shit be hitting.
I know
I
you
listened to it
hitting
a minute, but yeah, that song has never gotten
that
old.
That whole was old too. I remember you were playing. You were like the first person on Bryson Tiller.
I think I was. I was
you
telling
really
people
were.
in class. I was listening. I remember listening to that shit in class. I was like, "Yo,
you were listening to the YouTube snippet. You weren't even listening to like.
I was like, "Yo, I have to listen to this."
Because I remember you showed me
all the way through, and it was like all like it like the next song flow into the next one. I was like, "This shit hit." And I was telling people in class, like, y'all gotta listen to this dude Bryson Tiller, bro.
I remember the old YouTube cover for the Don't song single, and you sent it to me, and I was like, man, this shit hard.
Damn, that was a minute.
That was a long time ago.
Like, yeah.
Remember when Kick was the thing?
Oh yeah, those are some dark days.
Let's not spend too much time on that.
Yeah, let's get out there. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure that out a little bit too. I think I'm trying to find, maybe not of the stress, but I'm trying to find something that helps like rejuvenate or like recharge me. Yeah. I found like one thing I haven't done in a while, but it's like you're supposed to. You know who Andrew Huberman is?
I don't think I do. Is he that guy you posted before? Have you posted him before?
Maybe he's like this. He's like real
big
like
forehead.
I don't think he has like a bald fade. Not a bald fade is crazy. He just has like a
he got the pussy.
he's got like a buzz basically.
Oh,
like
okay.
real buff ass dude. He only wears like black like.
Nah, then I don't know what you're talking about.
But he has like this idea.
He had a bald fade.
He's like a neuroscientist. But he talks about going outside the first thing you do in the morning for 5 to 10 minutes and just looking at the sun, not staring at it directly, but like just getting it in your eyes. And apparently it's supposed to help with a lot of different ways. More ways than I could probably talk about right now, but helps with like recharging you, getting you ready, setting your like what is it called? Like I forget what it's called. It's like your sleep cycle. I forgot the actual word for it.
Like
your
training your body.
Circadian rhythm. Yeah, it's supposed to help with that. It's supposed to help you like wake up, recharge, and then also you supposed, if you want, you can look at it later in the day, helps you go to bed. And then even like these lights right now, if I was gonna go to bed like at 10 or like 10:30 or some shit, you probably want to have these lights off as soon as it gets dark and just use like orange lights, you know, like a because
the blue light keeps you up.
Yeah,
like the blue light. I don't know.
So
I forgot what the
relax,
keep
like an orange kind of light on for like an hour or two before bed.
Real mellow
help you
light.
kind of relax.
I used to always just have my lights on red. Like I had LEDs.
That's actually good. Those are actually good for sleeping though.
But it was always one of those like you know the red lights.
Oh, I know what they're for.
So I was like, but I always had them on red.
You go to sleep though.
Yeah, but I just never turned it off. So like I always kept it on.
But yeah, so I guess we can get started with these questions here. I love always asking these because people just have so many different answers, and it's really cool because I like my viewers to see who you actually are, you know, beside like underneath it all, and get to see like kind of what you think about yourself and things like that.
Gotcha.
But first question is, what is your worst attribute, characteristic, weakness, or fault?
I think my worst attribute is also my biggest strength, and I'm loyal. I'm very loyal to the people that I love. And I think it's also honesty too. Mm-hmm. Like, so I'm very loyal, so I'll go to the ends of the earth, but I'll allow it to, you know. And that's not with girls though. That's like with my chosen family and my family.
Yeah.
But and then honesty, I'm too honest. Like I'm very honest that it'll help you, but I'll get to a point where I'll get too honest. Mm. And only some people can really absorb that and really like take that and grow from it. Because sometimes like in my friend group, I'm like the honest and I get down to it. And then my friend Bison, he's like the mama. He's real like nice. But like we'll have talks when something happens, and I'll be like, man, that shit's stupid. Like we can't have that happen again. Yeah. Y'all are making these mistakes, and I see it, and like we can dissect them right now. And then Bison will be like, but we're all alive today. I'll be like, man, shut the hell up. Like I don't know. It's just one of those things. I'm too honest, but it also helps a lot with like communicating with everybody. Communicating with like just having a normal, like being honest is the best way, because I don't have to lie about who I am when I meet new people, or even like with relationships with girls. I'm always honest, so there's never problems with communication. Yeah, because I won't lie. It's just
that's really good.
It's just one of those things.
Thing, yeah, for me. Those posters, I don't know if you've seen them, the Jordan Peterson posters. One of the biggest rules that I ever took from it was tell the truth or at least don't lie. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a weird rule, like at first, because like, why would you tell the truth or at least don't lie? I was like, if you tell the truth, then that inadvertently say you're not gonna lie. Like I've said before, I know the answer, but I refuse to answer it. Yeah, because I know the consequences of the answer. Like I've said that before, and it's so like that's such a mouthful to say. Yeah, but I'll take the time and I'll be honest. I'll be like, there's certain things I will not answer to you, even though I have the information. But sometimes that might also be the truth too. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta keep. I don't know. It the
truth hurts sometimes.
Yeah, it's very weird to really know what is the truth, which is why I thought that rule was so interesting, because sometimes you don't know what the truth is, but you do know what a lie is. Though you can, a lie is easy to you can feel it when you say a lie. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes the truth can be hard to find. Okay, so going off of that, what do you think now is your best attribute, characteristic, weakness of all? The same thing?
Yeah, honesty and loyalty. I'm very honest, so it helps with a lot of relationships, whether it be with
There's kind of
employers.
duality to it.
Yeah, like, so I'm very honest with my employers, so they know if I'm gonna be late, I'll be honest. I'll be like, I overslept. Like, I won't like make up an excuse. And if there is an excuse, it's not an excuse, it's the truth. Because if I miss for some reason, I'll be honest. So it creates a good trust between like me as an employee with my boss, who is my employer. So that's always good. And then with relationships, it's good to be honest in a relationship always.
Yeah, of course.
It's just, and I know before everybody's lied before.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just had to really better myself and just be honest. And because if you're hiding stuff in a relationship, it makes the whole relationship way more harder than it needs to be. Then you're picky and choosy about what you want to say. Like, I don't want to have to worry about that. So I'm just honest off the rip. Like, this is how it has to be for me. And then I'm very loyal. So the people that I'm loyal to, they match the energy a lot too. So
yeah, that's really good.
I have with me and my boys, like my brothers, so we call it a brotherhood. Like, that's how we feel about each other. Yeah. So like my buddy had gotten to a bad wreck, and he didn't call nobody else first but me, and I was there. I got there faster than the time it took for him to tell me what happened. Like, I was hauling ass, but it was just one of those things. Like, we're very loyal to each other, and we're very honest, and that's like our biggest strength. But it becomes one of our weaknesses when we try to let in new people, or when we try to do certain things, because then we can't. You have to rebuild that trust. And I can't lie, I have trust issues. It's hard. I mean, I'm very self-aware. Like, I won't trust people, and I'll be honest about it. Like, if I don't trust you, I'll be honest. I'll be like, hey, there's certain things I can't feel like I tell you. I can't feel like I can tell you because I truly don't trust you. Yeah. And it might hurt to hear that, and I know it definitely hurts to hear that. For sure. But like, you have to say that, and I've been told that. And that shit hurts, but it's just honesty. And I respected them more as a person after the fact than if they didn't. Yeah. You know,
I think that might even help with the trust too. Yeah, just being able to say that.
Being able to say that, it might honestly build up the trust more, because then you're more conscious about what you say and how to make it better and certain things. I don't know. Yeah, honesty and loyalty, my biggest weaknesses and my strengths.
If there is one thing that people misunderstand about you the most, what do you think it is?
I'm very to myself, so I don't go out much. I don't talk to a lot of like I don't do a lot of stuff that a lot of people assume I do. Like, people would thought when I was in Angela, I worked in the office, and I worked in like the office that had the sorority and fraternity camp lead. Yeah. Or like the very head of all of it, and I was real cool with her. Her name was Bree, my dog. But I was real cool with her. I was always in her office stealing her snacks, because like, she's like, I have a drawer full of snacks, grab whatever. So I was like, oh, you shouldn't have told me that. Yeah. So like, I'm taking snacks, but like everybody thought I was in her frat, because like I was always in there, and I guess I looked the part. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, no, I don't leave the house. Like, I really just, I work and I go home and I spend time with my shorty, and that's really it.
Yeah. I think
even like my brothers, like my brotherhood that I say, I don't really like, we don't hang out that much, because we all have our priorities and we keep that straight, and we know that the brotherhood's gonna be there regardless. It's just we have to handle our business now, so we do that.
I think that's good. I'm glad you had people like that, because I think for a lot of maybe around your age, I didn't really like have that. Like, not like I never really had like a big group of friends where we were just like like ride or die type shit.
It's just like 5 of us, but we've been
that's
friends
good. It
since
seems
we
like
were young.
It seems like you kind of hold each other down, and then like kind of hold each other like accountable for a lot of shit, which I think is
that's the biggest thing, really is being able to hold each other accountable, and being able to look each other in the eyes and tell them if they're fucking up. Like, some people, like some friends won't be able to say that to you. Like, some people can't look at you and tell you when you're doing bad. Yeah. Like, I'll be honest, I'll look at you, I'll be like, hey bro, like, I can tell something's going on. If there's something going on and it's wrong, you need to tell me. Yeah. And if I do know about it, I'm gonna just bring it up out like, I'll be like, I know about this. That should be making,
like, as I've gotten older, I've been doing that more with like my friends. That's like, I feel like I think it makes it even like stronger.
Yeah, because I would want them to say the same things to me. Like, I would want to hear that if I'm fucking up or if I'm doing something that I shouldn't be, I need you to hold me accountable, and I need you to be able to come and tell me that. Yeah. The same way I would do for you.
I told a friend some shit one time when he was with this girl, and then recently he was telling me some shit about the girl that I was like messing around with, and he's like, yeah, I just, you came to me and you like held it down and shit, and he's like, you were, keeping me accountable, and you were like, there for me, and you're looking out for me and shit. And he's
it's not
like,
common. Some people don't realize that. Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just trying to do the same for you, and I was like, yeah, I appreciate that, because he's looking after me, and although like I feel like I'm pretty self-aware as well, and I usually like the shit that he was saying I already pretty much knew, but the fact that he came to me and he was like just looking out as a friend, I was like, yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's real though.
Even if it was nothing new, but like it still helped me get a different perspective and helped strengthen our friendship as well. So bless you.
Sorry,
there you go.
Sorry, Lola. But yeah, you definitely need that as a friend.
Yeah, for sure.
And then some people don't even think about that at all. They don't like there's definitely friendships. There's definitely friendships where that's not even like thought of at all.
Yeah. Where like kind of like a shallow.
Yeah. It's just like, why would you surround yourself with people every day if you don't really want to be better with them, around them, and then in the future? Yep. Like there's no reason to waste your time. That's why I hang around with like 5 people and my girl. That's it.
Yeah, that's good then. What is one thing that you're currently working on? You can kind of take that however you want, whether it's mentally you're actually doing some shit like goal-wise or whatever.
I can go a couple ways with that. So mentally, it's definitely just finding outlets for stress and anxiety. Trying to hold myself more accountable than I already am. Just trying to work towards being a better human, like just in general, like being like everyday conversations with random people. I want them to leave my conversation and be like, oh, I forgot his name, but damn, he's such a nice person. Like, yeah, like I just want to be like, I don't want to be a nuisance to anybody, but I also want to be like overly nice, because then I think the feelings will be reciprocated. Yeah,
like just real genuine.
I want to be a better boyfriend for sure. I have to be that, because I want to get to the age where I want to build a foundation. Because I'm already 19, but I'm not trying to be no little, like I don't want to do that. I want to get it. I want to have my shit set up so that by the time I'm 26, I have like at least one kid and we can go on vacation.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to plan for the future, so I'm trying to be a better person for that part. Trying to be a better friend, better brother, better son for sure. I'm a shitty son. I already know I am. Trying to be. I will in the future. I definitely am trying to open up a bar. So I'm doing logistics. I'm doing money for that. I'm thinking about a lot of different things, getting in connections. Because the last bar owner I talked to, or the last bar owner I worked for, I got a lot of information from him about it.
Really?
And he didn't run his bar too good. And I was like, damn, put me in charge. I'd turn it around. Like I could tell I was picking up the little stuff. And I was like, there's little things. I was like, I pick it up. I was like, we got it. And I was like, that's what I want. I want a bar.
That'd be cool.
But that's a long-term goal. Maybe it'll be after I make my money through something else. I could open it as like a something like a hobby. Like I'll be 40.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a plan that I'll keep in mind always. So if I could open the bar at 22, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. Or if I could open it at 30, I'm gonna do it. That's just one of those things. It's just I want a bar.
Yeah, I feel
But besides that, cool. I'm not really like planning or working towards anything besides just being a better human mentally. To people I don't know.
Yeah. I think along the way there's probably other things that you'll eventually want to get into, but I think starting from being a better human, like you're saying, friend, son, boyfriend, etc. Like that's I think that's a really great start. I think that's
I'm trying to get more educated, so I'm always reading. That's like one of my outlets is I read as much as I can. So I think education is power.
That's pretty tight. It's always like smart, hearing about people's goals and shit, because it's just like I have certain goals and I always assume that they're like the only goals that people want. But then I listen to when I do the pod and hear people talk about their goals. I'm like, yeah, it's actually cool that these are your goals. Like they're just different, you know?
Yeah, because like I don't know, I want my kids to go to college and I'm gonna be strong about that. But if they don't want to go, it's all right. But like I know, I truly feel that knowledge is power, and I think that the more you allow yourself to get to be more open minded towards like every type of thing, anything at all. And like allowing yourself to learn about every single thing and looking at it from a non-biased standpoint makes you a more powerful person.
Yeah.
Because then you have every single lens to look through a certain subject.
I feel like if you do try meditating, I feel like you'll like it a lot, because that's kind of what I would say it's like a preface to meditating is like you just try to experience, like what I was telling you just try to experience the experience. It's weird because you try not to think about anything. You just notice. That's all you're doing. You're just noticing and observing, and then you don't place any value judgments on it. You're not like, this is good, this is bad. You just like observe it and just see what happens. That's it. So I definitely need to do something like that. Especially that the sitting still one you said. I definitely need to try that. Yeah, I mean if you're ever like for real interested, just let me know and I can send you like a whole playlist of different shit. I can send you the guy I was talking about, Dr. K.
That breathing
he'll talk
one.
to you about he'll talk to you about what you're actually doing, and then why it's good, etc. And then other techniques, etc. So
And
if
like,
you're interested, for real.
other than that, like the vaping, I need to cut that shit out. But that's like a for real addiction. Like I for real like the nicotine shit. So it's like I just need to cut it out. It's hard, but
I had a friend who's he just quit a couple of days ago. The whole time he was with me, he was even saying, he's like, I just keep going like this because I'm like,
yeah,
where
bro.
my shit at?
I hate that shit.
It's like I think some similar experience that I have to that is like deleting social media, which I've done like a handful of times in within the past few years, and I'll delete it for months on end. And then it's so weird because like the first couple of weeks or maybe a month, you'll like pull up your phone and you'll swipe over and you're like, that shit ain't even there. And you'll do that throughout the day. It's like you get bored or maybe in a weird conversation, you'll pull up your phone and you'll be like, I ain't got nothing on my phone, bro.
Shit.
So I would assume it's probably pretty similar. You just like patting down your pockets. You're like, what am I?
Honestly, I don't even know, bro. Like I think it gets to the point where it's just like I like the smoke part too, because I do smoke a lot of weed too, and I found a good balance with that. But I do definitely need to wean that out of my daily life.
Yeah,
because it's also expensive. So all that money could be go to rent or to groceries or
for sure.
But it's just little stuff like that. And then just like the bigger picture of just being a better person, and then little stuff to get to that point. That's what I'm working on.
What is something that you've overcome recently?
Accepting where I'm at in life and being all right. That just accepting that I'm doing good right now and that I don't need to do more.
Yeah,
because I've already done a lot.
Yeah.
So it's just like you need to like take a chill pill. That's what I got past. Like I had to really accept that there's some days where you won't be able to go to work because you only have one job.
Right.
Like I'm very like I like sometimes I need to be working because I feel like I'm not doing nothing. Like you said earlier, like I had to accept that like I'm doing good. I have a place to stay. I can pay my rent comfortably.
Right.
Like just you're good. That's one of the biggest things. I'm always in like a rush or I'm always like pushing 1,000%. But it's like I just have to accept that I'm doing good and I can just keep going and keep moving.
Right.
That's one of the biggest things. Even I'm still working on that too, but like I've gone a long way from where I was before, and like I'm like finally being able to calm down and relax, like watch my TV shows.
That's really good.
It feels pretty good. And I'm eating better too because of that. Because I'm taking that time to just think and like, oh well, I haven't eaten today. I'm gonna go grab something to eat. You know.
That's real. I've been
It's like little stuff.
I'm trying to like put on weight, so I eat like 4 or 5 times a day.
And sometimes I just eat hard though.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes I be eating just some bullshit, and so it just flows right through me. But then there's some days where like today, I think I only ate like once, maybe twice. But like if I don't eat now, I think it's probably also just like a byproduct of getting older. But I'll start getting a headache, bro. I start just getting headaches.
Yeah.
I'm like,
or vision will get blurry.
I don't know about all that. That's like a migraine. That's migraine type shit, I think. But I'll just get like a minor headache and it just be like hurting like right here. And I'm like, I didn't eat earlier. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's fucked up because you can't really fix it after that. Because once you didn't eat, it's like you can eat now.
And you gotta wait like 20, 30 minutes.
It's gonna be a while before the headache either does go away or sometimes it doesn't even go away for me. So
yeah, you'll just chill with it and then you just gotta wake up the next morning and
yeah, you just have to go to bed. That's the worst
make
part.
sure you eat breakfast.
Yep, that breakfast shit. That's actually really good. I don't know if you know about that. But
I eat a lot. I eat breakfast really as fast as I can, or as much as I can.
Try to eat something like very like hearty, like something very full. Helps with anxiety a lot.
It helps me work longer days too. Eating breakfast, because before I wouldn't eat breakfast, and then once I started eating breakfast, I realized I got more energy.
Yep,
I can do a lot more.
Instead of feeling lethargic after you eat lunch at 12, that's how you'll start feeling real tired.
Like I need a nap. Like I got the itis.
Exactly. What is one moral rule you think that people should abide by?
Don't cast judgment. I think one of my biggest things is like, who am I to say certain things about certain people? So I think you have to really put yourself in a position to realize when and where and what to judge. I think you just got to really realize, because everybody's so judgy and everybody's got an opinion about something.
Yep.
And so I just think if you're just more open-minded and like more accepting and more like, it'll be a lot better.
Yeah, I learned to kind of stop doing that a little bit, but I think it's very difficult. I've been kind of like battling if you should ever like really judge anybody. I'm sure there's probably a reason, because it's a thing. There's probably a reason to judge people, but also at the same time, I think everybody's been in a position where they haven't had something. So it's like, why would I judge someone if
at their
I
lowest
hated
point
being judged?
Yeah,
For something as well. So
it's one of those things. If you're doing better than somebody, it's cool, but like there's no reason to clown about it.
yeah, I think everybody's just where they're at.
Yeah, because you've been at your lowest before, and if somebody looked at you and judged you at your lowest, and then you come up later on, it's just like, I don't know. Just don't judge.
Yeah,
just don't
I realize
judge.
I haven't really done that in a while. Actually, like consciously, like been judging somebody.
That's one of my biggest things. Is like, especially because I go to these people's houses, so I'm in like 6-7 different houses a day, moving in furniture. So I'm seeing these people and how they live, and it's just like, who am I to judge you?
Yeah, never know what they got going on. Yeah.
Who am I to say anything about how you raise your kids or anything? You're like, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things.
What do you think makes us or you human?
Conversation like this. Being able to disassociate emotions and feelings from situations. To be able to break down everything that we can. So whether it be just a conversation or like science or math, like we can break it down and we can have a conversation and think about it. And just a simple fact that we can wake up and breathe and have emotions that fill us up, that can be more than just in our head, that can turn into physical.
Yeah.
Like, so I had a problem where I lost my legs, where my emotions got too deep that it turned into physical. Like that, I knew I was alive, and like that kind of gave me a sense of hope.
Yeah.
To feel something like that, even though it was terrible and like I hated losing my legs, and like, but I had a sense of hope that like I'm alive, like my body's like, I'm just alive. I think that's what it is.
That's a really good answer. I like that a lot. Is there like an earliest memory or thought that you've had? Maybe it'd be like a feeling, an idea, who you wanted to be, who you didn't want to be, something like that, etc.
I've always thought my very first conscious memory of like remembering like when I came to as a kid. It was like one of my birthday parties at like a jumping blow up place. That was my very first memory ever.
Really?
Yeah. Before that, it was all a blur.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then since then, I've always thought I've had like that I could do anything. Like it was never a doubt in my mind that I could do anything that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And as this time kept going on, I realized that I could if I put the effort and hard work into it. And then as time went on, I got lazy and I started realizing I could do this, but I don't want to. So it was always about, if I wanted to do anything, is because I knew I could, or if I wanted to, or if I didn't feel like it. It was just always one of those things. Like, I think potential is always what you make it. So if you have potential, you have to go and fulfill it.
Right.
And if I didn't feel like it, I wasn't going to do that. And I knew if I wanted to do something, if I just have to put my heart into it, and I could do it. So I've done certain things like, I could do it, but I don't want to. And then I do it, and I've done it, but it's like, damn, that shit whack. Like, I don't want to do that no more. It's just,
I think that's a good realization.
I think it's just being in, like I just know what I want and what I can do and what I can't. Like I know my limits on everything.
Yeah.
So it's just being very self-aware.
Is there a dream that you've had since you were a kid?
To go on tour as a musician.
Really?
Yeah. I want to start a band so bad.
That's still something that you still want to do?
Yeah, of course. But I've realized now that if I was to do that, I'd have to be as a singer, and I'm not doing that, or I'd have to be as a producer.
Yeah.
Or a keyboard player. Because I'm not learning an instrument right now. I don't have the time.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could, there's ways I could do it. But yeah, I just don't. It's just not in the front of my mind.
What is something that you are grateful for?
Every single decision that I've made that has brought me to where I'm at. So every decision that I made, whether it be good or bad, it's where I'm at, or like it's what's needed to happen. So I'm grateful for everything that I've done. Mm-hmm. Every person I've talked to, or every bad decision or good decision, like I'm grateful for it, because I'm sitting here and I'm able to have this conversation and talk about it.
Yeah.
So like I'm just grateful for everything that I've done, good or bad, because it shaped me into who I am.
You are today. Yeah. What do you think is the purpose or one purpose of your life?
I don't know. That's one of my biggest mental battles, is finding purpose. So I couldn't answer that question. I don't think I can.
You have one purpose, maybe?
I think
'cause I think a lot of times people will say like, oh, the purpose of my life was this. But then I feel like as you get or at least from what I understand, like as you get older, there's like multiple purposes. Like sometimes people have kids before that. Maybe they were like playing basketball, like maybe like Kobe, for example. His purpose was like play basketball, but then after that, it was like to change the minds of people and help them in other ways. And then it was to maybe be a
mentor,
better, maybe a better father. And then I think he was like trying to. It looks like he was trying to like kind of accelerate like women and their basketball
with the Mambasita stuff. Yeah, exactly, like that was a big thing for the hooping community, was him being. And then his daughter was a very good basketball player. Yep. So he was just a big part of that whole community. I mean, he still is. I mean, he's talked about almost every night. If there's a basketball game on, his name is going to be heard. His shoes are worn everywhere. It's just one of the things. But I don't know. Yeah. For me, I just don't know. I can't pinpoint a purpose for me right now. I just know that there's something more. So I'm just waiting for my purpose to reveal itself, because I'm not just going to go find it. I don't think I could find it myself. I think it has to reveal itself to me.
You think so?
Yeah, so as of right now, I don't think I know. But that's not to say that I'm just like sitting here, I'm just living life without purpose or meaning.
Yeah.
I just don't know it at the moment.
In some ways that I think from the outside looking in, if I can say this, that one purpose for you is just being a better human being.
Yeah.
Which I think, like I told you, I think that's a great start, because I feel like in a lot of ways I was like that for a long time too. And I realized, well, like I didn't realize this, but I guess, yeah, along the way I realized like doing YouTube is something that I want to do. And this will help me further, because this isn't the like only thing that I want to do. There's other dreams and goals that I don't really talk about that often outside of YouTube as I get older that I want to pursue as well. But now, like, it was so weird. Most recently, I think it was this week, I was recording a new video for my main channel, and it's like a new type of video. Like, mostly I've been doing vlogs, but this one's like kind of different. And I remember I was like going to sleep, and I was like dreaming about the idea that I had for the video that night. And I was working on it the day before, or I was working on it that same day, but before I went to bed. And I was like, I had meditated, and I got into like a creative space, and I started writing down all my ideas. And then like the rest of the day, I was like watching videos, and then I had an idea, and I was like, I wrote it down, and then I wrote another one down, and then I wrote another one, and it just kept going.
I'm so bad with like keeping ideas, and like I wish I could keep like a journal around me, because I like to write poetry. So like I lose ideas so quickly, and I don't ever have a chance to write them down. Yeah, I know that's my problem.
I put them all on my phone. If I ever have an idea, I just write the shit down. But I had but anyways, I had went to sleep, and then I was dreaming about it, and then I woke up in the morning, and I haven't felt like this in a long time. But I woke up, and I was like laying there, and I was like, dude, I kind of woke up late, but I was like working on the video the night prior. It was like all for the video. Like I went to bed late on purpose, and then I woke up kind of late, and when I woke up, I was sitting there, and I was like, dude, I was just thinking only about the video. I was like, I want to do that. I didn't really want to get up, but like I also did. And then I got up, and I started working on the video, and I felt it was so weird, because I just haven't felt like that in a while. Like it was really
so motivated that it like brought you out.
It was a great feeling to have.
That's always good to have. I don't think I've had a moment like that in a while. Like
I haven't either. I don't know what happened, but it was like really cool. But yeah, just you got, like I was saying, you got to write shit down.
Yeah, I need to.
I don't tell a lot of people this, but I actually write. Like I like write a bunch of raps down. That shit's so fun.
That's basically what poetry is.
Yeah, it's raps. So fun to me, bro. It's like fun putting the words and shit together. And whether or not it goes somewhere, I don't really care. I just like writing this shit down. I have like a lot of extensive lists of like shit. I don't know. But yeah, you just got to write this shit down for real. Like if it comes to mind, write it down. If you don't, you'll say you'll write it down. You won't forget, but
I forget all the time. I say that all the time.
Yeah, if you have that creative idea, you have to put it somewhere.
Yeah. It's lost forever.
I do appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else any questions that you have, anything else you want to say? You want to maybe
I appreciate
plug up
you
something?
having me. I really enjoyed this conversation. It's always good to have a conversation, especially since we haven't like talked in a while. So
yeah, for sure.
Like we've seen each other from being younger and then growing up. So it's always cool to like go back and then just talk and go through the inner workings of how we move now, and being able to differentiate of how we used to think when we were younger too. Because
I don't think I've ever really like talked to you like I've known you for a long time, but I don't think I've ever like really sat down and talked with you. But it's just like interesting to hear you talk about like you wanting kids at 26. It's like,
because I want that shit quick.
Still, like it's so weird because I know you're not a kid, but I still always think of you.
That's how I always
little Joey,
and like, I know that I always be perceived as little Joey, and that's I mean I don't have a problem with that, but that's just like how it is. Like y'all are older than me, y'all are like my older brother, so it'd always be like that.
And I've never experienced that, like, cause obviously I'm 23, like this is as old as I'm gonna be, but like I never really watched anybody grow up, so it's like, it's even like my little brother's like, that motherfucker about to graduate. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
that's weird, right?
It's so strange to see that.
It was weird to see him in high school with me, because I was like, wait, that's little Jaden. Like, it was so weird. But
yeah, I do appreciate you coming on. I know we've been talking about this for a while. I haven't done a podcast, so I'm actually grateful that you hit me up and we finally set it up and shit, because now I have some content
I've
for
been
this
real
to do,
excited.
because I just haven't done it in a while, just because I've been focusing on my other channel. But I've always loved the podcast, like talking to people, like to understand people and how they, like you're saying, how they work and shit. It just it's very interesting to me to hear.
It's all a science too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it gives me more perspective, and I think it helps with a lot of people. Like my whole like goal with the podcast is just to understand what it means to be human, and hopefully people can do the same. I feel like along the way.
What's the word called? Empathy. Be more empathetic. Yeah. Like, as a spread the feeling of Sonder.
Yeah. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching and checking the pod out. If you guys, do you want to plug anything?
I don't need to plug nothing. I don't really have social media like that. Just remember me when I'm the overlord of the world.
But if y'all got anything y'all want to say to him or whatever, just put it in the comments, and I'm sure he'll watch us back and he'll respond to you guys if y'all do say anything. But yeah, again, the podcast is available on all audio platforms right now, so it's going to be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, etc., wherever you listen to your podcast, as well as on YouTube. If you're listening from any of those sources, you can see us and you can watch us here, which I always like watching video format podcast, because I think it's a bit more intimate.
Because then you get to like see the
you get to see them. You get to see like the mannerisms and like whatever they're doing.
The face.
I don't know. I like that, but to each his own, and wherever you watch it, I still appreciate you. As well as my main channel, I always got to plug it up on here. If you guys are, I don't know if y'all watch my main channel and y'all from there, or y'all watch these pods, but I do have the main channel where like I said, I post my more creative content. Right now I'm working on vlogs, and I do have a new video coming out this probably next week. Something different. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave all this in the description. And yeah, as always, I appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Hey.
See y'all later.
It was fun, bro. It just felt like a normal convo. It didn't even feel like it, honestly.